Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to 20 Sides to Every Story, where tonight we are playing one of our community campaign games where we sit down. Um, had been, we were doing these always on a Friday with our Patreon supporters and our Twitch subscribers, and right now we are playing through The Lost City, which is one of the original Adventures Reincarnated books from Goodman Games, where they take one of the old adventures from uh, most of them so far have been from the D&D basic or D&D expert rule sets from back in the day, and they do give a reproduction of the module and then give it a 5th edition treatment and stat out a bunch of encounters, and then they a lot of times they throw in some bonus material, and that's what we've been doing lately. Is we've been traveling through some of the goblin and hobgoblin areas of the Lost City. So we're going to check that out here tonight. If you're watching us, if this is your first time and you've never seen one of these games before and it looks like it's a lot of fun and you'd like to get in on a game yourself, you definitely can do so. There's kind of two main ways that can happen. You can either support us on Patreon. If you're watching on Twitch, pop that up in the chat so you could go and check out that page. So the people that support us on Patreon, they get the first chance to sign up for these games when I post about 3 to 4 of them each month. And beyond that, we also offer opportunities for our Twitch subscribers to get in on the game. So when I don't have enough patrons to fill out the slots for the game, we'll put it out to our Twitch subscribers to come and have some fun too. So even if you never played online before and you're just watching and thinking like it would be fun, it's a great opportunity to learn. Each game is kind of a self-contained thing you can drop in. You can drop out as you need to. You don't have to attend every game. So a couple of ways to do that there. So thank you for your support. I'd also encourage you, if you want to come and hang out with us in between the streams. Oops, that wasn't what I meant to put up. Discord. Come and join us in Discord. We're always hanging out in there, chatting as a group, as a community, about a lot of things, either D&D related or RPG related, or we got a group playing 7 Days to Die right now, so we get into some video games, all sorts of different stuff. So if any of that sounds interesting, come and join us in Discord. We've got a fair number of things happening on the channel this weekend. Tomorrow morning, if you want to see some Eberron being played, a number of us will be up in the morning at 9 a.m. starting up. We're in the midst of a module from the Oracle of War campaign. It's an Adventurers League campaign that's really well done. It has a really cool story. And we're doing that tomorrow morning at 9 with Corey. And then tomorrow night, Dave is going to be running a 5th edition version of Pathfinder Kingmaker. So come and check that out. They start their game at 7. And then on Sunday, something a little out of the ordinary for we're mostly playing 5e on this channel, but Paul does every other Sunday Call of Cthulhu game, and that starts at 6:30. So a couple of different things you can come and check out if you're bored this weekend. So come and hang out with us in those streams too. So let's see. I put a little something in the chat in our Discord earlier about wandering monsters. So tonight, if anybody redeems a wandering monster from the EXP store, the form that it will take is that of a hobgoblin captain. And if you redeem the wandering encounter, you can name your hobgoblin captain and give me one sentence about maybe their personality, maybe it's a weird quirk or behavior that they have, maybe it's just something that makes that particular hobgoblin unique. And that's how the wandering encounters will be handled here tonight. There are other things there in the EXP store. You don't have to be mean and redeem those wandering monsters. You can also buy them rerolls and healing potions and natural 20s on death saving throws. So as you are watching, you gain EXP. It's kind of the the internet points of 20 sides, and you can spend those to um, influence the game in those different ways. So go and check that out too. So I just dropped the link to the Stream Elements store there in the chat as well. So, where we pick up, we've been playing through the Lost City, and the heroes have been helping out a group of humans that call themselves, they're known as the Synodocyans. They are humans that have lived underground for such a long time that they've developed dark vision, and have just in general kind of adjusted to life below ground. And in fact, you've got one of them is a member of your party. A professor is a Synodocean. And so they are fighting to try to reclaim their city in this vast underground cavern. They lost their city about a year or so ago to followers of this cult that worship a creature known as Zargon, sort of an eldritch horror type entity, big singular eye, horn, tentacled thing. You've seen maybe some motifs or imagery of this creature out and about as you've been exploring this area of the Lost City. And so they've lost their city to this cult, and only out of sort of happenstance in meeting the various player characters that have come into the campaign, they're sort of finding their strength and finding the will to fight back. And so that is where we are at right now. The Synodocyans had charged some of our heroes with, their numbers aren't so great, and so they needed to find some unconventional allies. And so our player characters have been spending some time in some caverns to on the western side of Lake Moldvoy, and met up with a tribe of goblins that are sort of adept at climbing, and they even call themselves as the Scalar tribe. But they have been kind of under the heel of their own oppressors in the hobgoblins, and the hobgoblins have sort of an alliance with the Zargonites, and would definitely be backing up the Zargonites if the Synodocyans were to make an overt strike on the city. And so the last few sessions have kind of dealt with helping the goblins to find their own courage and find the will to more forcibly try to overthrow their own masters and such. And so that is where we're going to pick up. The three clans of Synodocia have sent you 6. Well, Dunker, you may be already there in the Goblin Caves. You'll be joining us shortly, but the other 5 are definitely being sent directly by the Synodocyans, because they're about to launch an attack themselves. They've recovered enough refugees from the city, and you yourselves, the heroes in the last adventure, recovered some Synodocyans from the hobgoblins, and so they feel like they've got the numbers to start reclaiming big parts of the city. And so there's going to be kind of a situation of twin strikes. They need the goblins to be dealing with the hobgoblins simultaneously to kind of split the Zargonites' forces. So you're being sent to go and meet with the queen of the goblins, to see what kind of assistance that you can provide in helping them with confronting the hobgoblins. And so that's where we are starting. So, but before we begin, we'd like to get some character introductions from you all. And so as we go around the virtual table here, just give us your name, your class, your race, and tell us if your character were to fight an army of their mortal enemy, what would the composition of that army be? So you can interpret that question however you like, but what would the makeup of an army made of your mortal enemy be? And we always let the new character go last. So Dunker, we'll end on you, but we'll start then with Cliff, who's playing Helibet.
Okay, I am Halibut Frostbeard. I am a dwarf cleric. And I'm supposed to tell of my mortal enemy what that would.
Yeah, if you were to go out into battle against an army composed of your mortal enemy, what would the form of that army be? What would the composition of that army be?
Uh, I think that would be made up of all the ghosts of the people that I failed to save. That's who I would probably have to fight.
All right, very good. So that's a little insight into Halibut. Next up, we've got Murray.
Hello, I'm Murray Brett Germain. I am a Goliath rogue. As far as my mortal enemy, I don't know, maybe an army of my mom, I guess. Maybe former bandmates, maybe a bit. I feel like we kind of took care of them, but I guess them, yeah, and my mom, she's not very nice. And I don't want to say my mom because I wouldn't want to have to fight an army of her. She hits pretty hard, that's for sure.
All right, so that gives us a little something about Murray Burt Germain. Next up, we have Pico.
Hello, I play Pico, and Pico is a grung druid, circle of the land. And a grung is like like a little frog guy who, if you poke him with your finger, he might poison you. So careful with hugs because they might hurt. An enemy. I'm undead kind of freak me out, so I think that would. I mean, they're pretty scary. I had a bad run-in with a kobold one time, but I mean, they're not too bad once you get to know them. I'd say if I had to guess, maybe the undead. Not a big fan of those.
What about
especially those thrall things? I don't really those.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't like those.
So, if you had to choose between undead kobold and a thole, which would you rather fight?
Maybe the undead.
Yeah.
They're I don't know. They're kind of skeevy.
Well, hang on to that thought about the tholes that might come up here tonight. Next up, we have Professor.
Hello there, I am Professor. I am a Synodocyans wizard. I am a part of the Magi of Usamigaris, and if I were to probably pick my mortal enemy in combat, it'd probably be Zargon himself. If he weren't here, we would have none of these problems. But I've never actually seen Zargon, so I don't know, other than like the statues with the weird tentacle thing. That'd be really weird. But that's who my mortal enemy army would be. Yes.
Well, the day might come where you'll get to have that fight. Let's not make it tonight, though. Let's not do it tonight. Let's really make some strange choices. All right, next up we have Savoie.
Hi, I'm Scott. I'm playing Savoie. He's a elven calligrapher who was on the. He finally won the lottery and got the vacation of a lifetime, which has somewhat gone astray. And it took him a while to start thinking that this was not just some sort of live action camp. But now that he's seen the professor come back to life, he realized it's just another actor. There's just more scenes being presented by the stage crew. So he's back to a period of disbelief. As far as his enemy, it's moisture. Moisture's always been very terrible for books. I mean, older manuscripts, dust you can wipe off, but moisture takes away the text, takes away the lettering, takes away the color. So, I mean, water probably was be my biggest enemy. If that were to come to life and attack my books, I'd be the most upset.
Sort of a strange thing because it was lack of water that kind of caused you all to end up in this situation in the first place. Or at least those that are not native.
Well, that's the story they're telling everyone about why we're here. I mean, this is really just the main stop on our vacation, and I, for one, am going to get the most out of it.
Well, Kinrob the bugbear is probably hanging out with you. Maybe when you're going back to the goblin caves, he hands you a snow globe to drink from if you want.
Murray,
Stop. Okay. I don't want it. He doesn't even look. He's like, no, 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 no.
And then we probably don't have Dunker with us quite yet, but let's just have Dunker kind of give us the rundown on your character.
All right, my name is Chris Jones, and I'm playing Dunker. He is a hobgoblin bard. He's ugly, but he makes up for it with his charm. He's an entertainer, and that's it. Oh, my army that I would face against. Well, Dunker really hates hecklers, so I suppose an army of hecklers would be great because you can't shoo him off and you can't run him through with a longsword. But I suppose in a battle, that's exactly what he could do. Just get his revenge on all the hecklers.
Very good. So, that is the cast of characters here for tonight. So those of you that are taking up this mission to go and see what you might be able to do for the goblins, you are making your way here over to the west side of Lake Moldvay. And, you know, did I ever upload this image? I bet I didn't. On the western side of the lake there is there's sort of a series of ledges and shelves that kind of jut out from the overlook there. And basically there's a number of caverns that lead inward into the overlook. And that's where the goblins and the hobgoblins dwell. And I guess let me just kind of give you kind of a visual of what it looks like. It's just a bunch of caverns at different elevations there, but they're all kind of conjoined by these poles that the goblinoids use to travel. They either slide down it like a fireman's pole, or they're skilled at climbing, so they'll shimmy on up and down. So you've kind of gotten used to this probably a little bit and have figured out, you know, how you can manage to get around over here. And so you make your way to the second level of the caves, where you know that you can make your way to the Queen's chambers. And as you present yourself, Kinrob the whole time, you're not exactly sure maybe, but he's been fairly insistent that he wants to come with you. And so he's tagging along.
Kinrob was part of us meeting Fluke and Flake. I think he was bringing them in, and we saved them from the.
Oh yeah. He seemed like, you're not exactly sure what his deal was, but you know, being goblinoid, maybe there was just like a sense of familiarity, or you know, he wasn't as distrustful of the goblins as the Synodocyans seemed to have like a pretty strong reaction to Kinra bringing goblinoids in. So you get the sense that there's like history there, that the goblinoids and the Synodocyans generally don't get along, and they were ready to take it out on Kinra when he brought them into their hideout. But yeah, he's been probably fairly interested in the stories that you've brought back to the hideout. just wanting to know what's going on with the goblins, and he would have been probably pretty distraught when the one goblin Flake, learning of her passing would have been sad news to him. And all of this is probably like the most you've ever seen Kinrob like show any concern or care about anything. He's always been very like,
He's
I
a
don't know,
capitalist.
deadpan capitalist, yeah. So
He's always got that Mark Zuckerberg face.
yeah. So he tags along with you, and you make your way to the Goblin Caves, and you are recognized and welcomed and ushered into the throne room. And so we'll just use this little D&D ampersand to kind of signify where on the map you are. And so you're waved in to this massive hall here, and all about you can just see evidence of things that the goblins think are fancy, and they decorate their hall with, thinking that it brings it some kind of prestige or is meant to impress, but it's really just like moth-eaten tapestries and moldy whatever they scavenged and you know, pightened to the wall. But nonetheless, they've tried to make this a grand feeling throne room, and at the one end of the hall you can see the wooden throne, which is adorned with these really rough cut gemstones that have just kind of almost like by sheer force kind of like hammered into this chair. Sitting upon the chair is this goblinoid woman who's wearing some very oversized, probably like a medium-sized creature robe that she is wearing, and she's got kind of the oversized crown on her head. She just kind of looks like a child playing dress up, and she it seems like there's this hobgoblin in front of her, maybe serenading her or entertaining her. I don't know, Dunker. You're here. You've been brought to the hall by one of your friends, another hobgoblin, your hobgoblin jailer friend, who's off in the corner of this room right now, and he's got a straw broom in hand, and he's just sweeping, and he's grinning, and he's giving you kind of a thumbs up, Dunker, because he knows that this performance that you're about to put on for the queen is gonna blow her away, and there's a lot riding on this because she's not such a fan of you all. She's spent the past at least several months in captivity as a prisoner of the hobgoblins, and so this is sort of your chance to shine and convince her that you have some worth and that you should be accepted into their clan. So what are you doing to entertain the queen?
Well, I've got my lute around my back, and I have a flute, which is going to be a problem because I'm going to be mixing these up all night. And I'm kind of playing kind of like fun, cartoony music and skipping around and more being a jester. And I'm singing songs about Dunker the drunkard, and just like made up tales of me just like stumbling through life, and it's all silly and.
All right, so you're taking kind of more of almost like a slapstick comedy type of approach to this. A little self-deprecation maybe in there. Okay, why don't you give me a performance check to see? Let's see how the queen is reacting to you as the others come in.
Oh, this is it, guys.
And right off the bat, she is laughing. She is holding her belly. There are tears in her eyes as she is laughing. And as the rest of you are coming in, you see that kind of there's like a cacophony of laughter. All the other goblins are getting a kick out of this too. Dunker's kind of found the right way to entertain these goblins is in maybe making fun of self because this rivalry between there's a lot of bitter hatred there, and so being able to kind of break that down a little bit through this entertainment is relaxing and a little cathartic. And you see the hobgoblin that is sweeping off in the corner of the room is just like he drops his broom for a second and just starts clapping, and he's like, oh, "You're doing it, Dunker! You're doing it! That's awesome! Hey!" And then he's like waves as he sees Murray.
Hey, hello. Hey, nice. Entertainment. Very good. Good to see you. Hey, you enjoy sweeping? You're doing a good job, it looks like.
Yeah, this is real good. This is real good. I'm really enjoying myself now here. You know, the whole door game. You know, I did doors. Now I'm doing floors.
I get it.
I could do more. I could do even more than that. Yeah, this is a great gig. Thank you.
Oh, don't thank me. You're the one that's doing it. You're doing a wonderful job.
And when Queen Gertella sees you all coming in, she kind of does like a dismissive kind of hand gesture to you, Dunker. She says, "Oh, that's enough of all this now. Okay, we'll get back to it later. I have some business to attend to with these folk. Come. I've been expecting you."
Hello, again. That little bow.
Hello. And
Hello.
copy.
That's good. You know how to pay your respects. That's good. And I'm going to reward you. I am so thankful that she got me out of that dank dungeon down there. Oh, it was dreadful. It was awful. And she just kind of shakes her finger at Turco, the hobgoblin who's been sweeping the floor. Says, "You didn't feed me enough when I was down there. This is cruel." And he's just kind of deferentially like dips his head. He's like, I'm not in that game anymore. That's not me, man. And I just got a DM reroll from Dave. Thank you, Dave. And as she's kind of shaming Turco, you see Kinrob kind of step forward, and he puts his hand over his breast and like kneels, and he says, "Oh, Kinrob, come to pledge myself for the effort that you will have against Hobgoblin. I want to fight. I want to fight with you." She says,
Hey man, you probably don't want to fight with her. Like fight on her side.
Yeah. That's what Kinrob say mean this. Yeah. And Gertella just seems like, having hobgoblins is one thing, but then a bugbear shows up and is pledging loyalty. She's just like, "Oh, this is something." Oh, actually, I was hoping that maybe all of you might be in need, maybe have interest in pledging yourself to me. You've been very useful, and I've been throwing around a couple of names, what to call you all, but I was thinking Gertella's little helpers might be good, and I could send you out on little quests. I made you something. I made you a little token.
T-shirt? She makes a t-shirt?
Snapping her. No, yeah, she snaps her fingers, and you see Fluke, your goblin friend, comes in.
Right.
He's got a little, kind of like, I don't know, food-stained pillow that has these little like tinfoil stars that looks like somebody kind of crimpled up some foil, and he's like, "Oh, hey, Murray. Yeah, it's been a long time. Look,
All right.
I made these stars for you."
Oh, you made them.
Yeah.
They look really official.
Yeah. You're gonna be in service to the queen now, so you need something to signify that and show off, flash to people. Sometimes you gotta flash a badge, get through doors, and get through clearances and whatnot. Yeah, that'll do it. And you look down at the little star, and there's just like it looks like a number, but you're not sure if it's a 2 or a 7, but it's just like a number something. All of yours have such insignias on them. And Gertella looks pretty proud as you are all maybe picking it up and looking at it and trying to figure out what it is.
It's very nice. What's it? Does it say something? What does it say?
It's number 2. You're my because
2?
you're all my number 2s. No.
We're all number 2.
Maybe that's what you could be called. You could be Gertella's number 2s.
This sounds like a cheap trinket.
Hold on.
Is there a gift shop where you can exchange these tokens for the next level?
There is no level. The next level is my position. You can't have it. I just got it. I had to lose my husband for it. I think is a fair trade.
Well, if I lose this star, do I get something?
You get another star, a new star. I'll have Fluke make you up a new one, but I might have a different number on it, because if you can't be trusted to hang on to your star, I don't know if I could trust you to be my number 2.
Well,
I'm gonna pin it to my scarf.
I'm not worthy to be a number 2.
Do you pin it or do we pin it? Is there a ceremony type?
Dunker, you pin it.
Huh.
Okay. So start to pin, and as a silly gesture, I take out my flute and I kind of knight Murray as a joke, and as I'm pinning everybody, everyone's getting pinned with their stars. So I kind of I'm just like making silly faces to all of you and not taking it seriously as I give them to you, and I get to help it, and I'm like, "Oh, sweetie, you're doing just fine. You deserve this pin. If everyone's number 2, we can't have a number 3, can we?" Oh, and I put the number 2 on you.
That'd be okay. Number 3. Maybe 4.
Number 4.
No number 3s, no number 4s. I need my number 2s for this next task that I have for you. But I feel like I should have a number 3 or a number 4 explain it to you. So Fluke, take it away. And Fluke just, yeah. So, gang, as you know, these hobgoblins, they're real assholes. They killed my sister. We gotta do something about them. And we understand that your people, they're gonna go into the city down there on the other side of the lake and deal with those other assholes, those Argonites. And we need to keep the hobgoblins busy up here. We're prepared to do that. But it's gonna be a little tricky, because what we're gonna do is, we're gonna attack them, and we're gonna lead them into this big cave with zip lines and poles and ropes and all sorts of fun stuff to climb up and down and zip around on. That'll give us an advantage, right? So we're real fast. We can climb, we can jump off things, and we're real good at stabbing. As you know, Murray, you've seen us. We can stab, we can hide now. We got a lot of skills. But there's just one thing that we don't have that they do. Those stupid undead things. Those nasty those thole things. Those things they you cut off a hand and it regrows, and they make them. They manufacture them. So if we're killing them and they're just pulling them back and doing their undead voodoo magic, well, that's going to be a problem for us. So we're going to need some folks like you, maybe, when we draw out the hobgoblins. Maybe you sneak on in and you find out how they're doing that and you stop them.
Maybe you could just give them stars and demoralize them into quitting.
Well, we got 2 of them, and he points at Dunker and he points at Turco, but it's not quite enough. I think this one's gonna take a little bit more than those trinkets and some foul words. We gotta find out how they're making those undead things and stop them.
Yeah, I would like to not face those things again.
I don't like the foals. They're very scary.
Pico.
They're quite
Sorry.
nasty creatures that need to be eradicated.
So, from what we understand here from Dunker and Turco there, they got this shaman or spellcaster calls himself Ghoul Dust.
Ghoul dust. Hmm. Very intriguing. Please tell me more.
Well, I don't know if we know much more than that, just that he's the one that does it. So if you find him, probably you find a way to put an end to all this.
Is he a necromancer?
Yeah, that's the word. Necromancer.
Is there maybe something that we could recognize him with? Any idea?
Not so sure. He's I guess he's sort of more pale looking than the other hobgoblins. You know, they got kind of bright orange skin. He kind of got pale peach nectarine skin.
Kind of fuzzy, huh?
He's a little fuzzy. He's a little ghoulish. He got some ghoul stuff growing on him. And it's just,
If this is
I think
the
you'll
case,
know him
you
when
should
you
be
see him.
quite noticeable in a crowd.
I bet he decorates his body out with the skulls and black clothing, and probably paints his fingernails all dark. And
Don't forget the femurs. Every good necromancer must have at least 2 femurs on them at all time.
yeah,
Really?
femurs.
Why is that? Why is that?
Well, if you really think about it, the art of necromancy indicates the process in which one brings back the dead. What do you need to bring back the dead? You need dead things. Femurs are the way to go. As we know, they are one of the strongest bones in the mortal body. Unlike mine, who are all fragile and probably full of holes at this point.
Well, strong bones, that sounds pretty good. If you find some femurs, bring them back for us. I would like a couple of femurs.
I'll get
Some of those.
right on that.
And so as you're kind of talking about the plan, you see Turco he's raising his hand in the back.
Oh, looks like he has a question.
What's your question, Turco?
Go ahead.
Oh,
speak
oh.
up.
Well, I thought I might tell you a little something. You know, I used to specialize in doors. I'm trying to get out of the door game, but I know something about a secret door.
Ooh.
Oh.
A secret door you guys might want to use to get in there.
Yep.
That's some good information.
Yeah, Turco got your back, you know. I help you out. So on the 3rd level of the whole place, you know, where you found old Turco, you found the Queen, where I used to live, in my little room of cages, where I open and close the door. Down there.
Okay.
Yeah. So you get down on the outside. If you crawl on down there, there's a boulder. There's a real big boulder. There's a little passageway back there. If you can find it, you might be able to sneak on in. You don't want to go through the front door, okay? There's the front door, real tricky. They're gonna be watching that, and they got a lot of traps, and they don't want that. I also think, you know, the garbage chute thing, that was a great idea the first time, but they might be watching it now. They know, they know I'm gone. You killed the salamander friend, the guy, and the ogre. And, you know, they're probably going to be watching that way. They're probably, who knows? Maybe they put stuff in the pit. Who knows? Don't go down there. Take Turco's secret door passage. It's a safe way. You can go that way. And Turco will feel real good because he took his advice. And it'll further add value to Turco's place in your tribe here. You could tell the Queen about it and say, Turco's doing a really good job. And then maybe I'll get upgraded to mop duty or maybe something kitchen related.
Right? She's literally right there. She can literally hear you.
Can the Queen hear him?
She's there's some side eye and she looks real impatient.
That's the point. I mean, you are very helpful, Turco, and you are great at structures in areas, and you're
I
good
can
at
get
cleaning.
in,
And,
I can get out.
yeah, opening and closing, and
Your information may have helped us successfully do this mission. You know, it
yeah.
might all be on the information that you gave us.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's anything else. You been up there? What? Any other? You know about the salamander thing and the ogres? You got any more insight on anything else we might see up there?
Mm,
Yeah, I was on
Well-
a spa day last week, so I kind of missed that trip. So I really didn't even know what these things are. So could you fill me in? There's some sort of tricks that we need to know for getting past them.
Well, I would say that this plan of drawing out the hobgoblins, that should work, but they won't completely evacuate the place. They're still going to have some backup security and such like that, including the commander, the warlord. So I guess the warlord's his name is Kyle Khan, and probably he's going to stay behind, doing strategy and such. The top brass, they never head down to the front line. He's probably going to hang back. But if you get in there, you might have an opportunity to take him out. He's a real asshole. He's a big top jerk. Take him out, the whole thing will fall apart.
And this
Their
was
whole
Khan
their whole
Khan?
military. Kyle Khan, yeah.
Oh, Kal Khan, not Khan Khan. Okay.
And what is
Maybe
it?
if he managed to find his chambers, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's got some strategy maps, maybe he's got some information or something about what their tactics, what their next move might be.
Okay.
It's a good idea. It's actually really good. Really good idea. You're doing great here. Great
the
work.
one we wanted to find anyway. Then leadership.
And the queen just says, well, if you can manage to do both, certainly do so. But we'll leave it to you. Whatever you can do down there will be helpful. And kind of in the midst of talking, and she's getting ready to maybe lay down some more specific plans with you, when suddenly to the, I'm trying to think, is this map actually north south? No, okay, to the east, which is down, the door that you came through swings open, and 12 or so goblins just run in, slam the door behind them, and one of them just calls out, "They're here! They've struck first!" And Gertella just looks alarmed, and she says, they must have known. They must have known that we were going to attack first. And she just stands on her throne and kind of cups her hands to her mouth and just calls out, moisten your blades with poison and follow me to battle. And they all the goblins in the whole place start to head out through the curtain here, and they seem to be making their way due north. Fluke takes a moment to go over to you, Dunker, and he says, you really want to impress the queen and prove that you're not with our enemy? You go with them. Go with them, and do what needs to be done to make sure that we are successful in this fight. If you can prove to them that you're loyal, then there'll be no questions. You'll be a part of the Scalers. You'll be a part of our tribe.
Loyalty, what a fleeting. Yeah, sure.
He slaps you. You're gonna do it. You gotta do it for my sister.
So he sort of goes to his little part on the floor and he sets down his loot. But he packs the flute. And he's going to just grab his weapons.
So, anything special that you're doing as you're exiting the throne room? You can see there's some goblins still down by that other door. Seems like they're like doing everything they can to secure it and bar it, to try to prevent.
I'm
Hey,
gonna
guys,
try to. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm. Oh, excuse me. He's gonna try to flag one of the goblins down.
Okay, one of them kind of stops. He's in a hurry to kind of run ahead, but
Real quick, you're moistening your blades with poison. Where do you get the poison from? Is there a vat somewhere I could grab some?
he says, "Oh, come with me!" And
All right.
I follow him because that's where my head's at.
he's kind of for most of this like following with everybody else that's leaving. Like you're all kind of just going with the flow, but then he takes you up this way and takes you into this room over here where you can see there are a number of goblins in here that aren't making haste. They're not escaping or anything like that, but each of them seems to have like, I don't know, like a coin or a little object or something that's tied around a string that they are kind of waving in front of these coiled up snakes that it seems like they've got kind of hypnotized or entranced.
Oh.
And then each of them has like an assistant or something like that that's got a little vial and is, kind of milking the poison off of the fangs into vials. And they're all wearing gloves and everything to protect their skin from the poison. But he kind of points. He says, "Go ahead and ask one of them. They'll be able to give you a little something."
All right. Thank you.
And so he runs off to make it to the battle.
So you said that there were some goblins that were like preparing to like board up like some of the doors and stuff. Are there some that went past, or like, because Pico wants to ask if there's like a choke point where like they would be coming through, because he could put down spike growth to kind of make things difficult for them.
Maybe you ask somebody something. Fluke will overhear your conversation, and he'll say, don't worry yourself about these defenses. There's many ways for them to get in, and so we're going to have the advantage here in this cavern. You stick to the task at hand. We'll be able to get you out of here and get you down to Dunker can tell you, take you to where the hobgoblins are, and you leave the fighting to us.
Okay, sounds good.
And
Bell slot saved.
Yeah.
you Savoie and Murray, you both wanted to get a little bit of poison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'd be nice.
you could definitely each get one of these.
Thanks for the jams, man.
Hey, thanks for the cheer. Hey, thanks, Ed. It'll just be a potion, or not a potion, a vial of poison, and I will put that in your character sheets.
Okay.
Nice.
And we just need to announce we're using that as like take an action for us to apply.
Yeah, it's an action to apply. It lasts for 1 minute, and if you attack, you can either apply it to like a melee weapon, or you can do up to 10 pieces of ammunition. And if you hit a creature with that, they have to do a DC 10 Constitution save, or take 1d4 poison damage.
It's not nothing.
And I can check. I just want to make sure. There's nothing more. Oh. Sorry, it's a little bit different actually. I'm just gonna put it in there as a vial of basic poison, but it's actually a little bit more potent than that one. It's actually 3d6 poison damage.
Nice.
And poison condition.
That's a big perk.
All right. And I'm gonna pop one of these over onto Savoie. So yep, you both managed to grab that. So anything else anybody else wants to do as you're making your way?
I'm just gonna tighten my braces a little tighter and cast mage armor.
Okay. Sounds good. So you end up. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna take a moment to ask the professor, like, was it a contract dispute, or like, what was it that they had you die off, but then you got to come back?
What are you even talking about?
I watched you die, and then yet
Yes, you did.
So I'm feeling like
I was indeed, killed.
I wrote a song for that, fool I was.
You sang it once. I can't remember. Do you remember the lyrics?
I'm never gonna sing them again for a living person. You don't sing odes to the dead when they're alive.
It'd be really nice. I would like if you...
Literally, probably a month, and I'll probably die. And if this statement is not true, I'm gonna be really surprised myself.
Let's say that. I like you around.
I understand that, but my feeble age and my deteriorating mind, as the years go on, is getting.
You smell better.
You keep saying this thing I have a smell. I do not have a smell.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
parchment and mothballs.
There is a little bit of a smell.
And right there, I told you.
The mothballs.
Auriga, you're not helping the case here. Let's find this secret entrance.
So you make your way, eventually get out to what is a ginormous cavern. Multi-tiered. You can see there are like rope bridges, probably above you. Yeah, above you. So you're kind of coming in here at the base level. And there are rope bridges, there are zip lines, there are poles, there's all this crazy. And there's actually a battle that's already starting. You're seeing that some of the hobgoblins from some of the upper caves seem like they've infiltrated, and there's battle happening up above you, overhead on all these ledges. Here's kind of an image of what that cavern kind of looks like. Sort of a multi-tiered, very cool
It's cool.
cave. And this I wish I would have mapped that one in, because it's a pretty cool image of this big environment that you could play around in. But the battle is happening with the hobgoblins and the goblins, and you're kind of being whisked over this way by Fluke, who takes you up a rope ladder and gets you out to this exit right here, back out to the ledges outside. And as you get out there, you know that your task is to get down to the 3rd level. You're currently on the 2nd level. Well, actually, you're currently on the 1st level because you climbed up a rope ladder to get out to the ledges. And you can see the activity of the hobgoblins and their invasion plans. Some of them are scaling up some of the poles that are out there, but you notice another thing that had not been happening earlier. There's sort of like this, almost like a conveyor belt kind of system with these like platforms, and it seems like teams of about 6 or so hobgoblins are riding on these platforms, and the platforms kind of do like a loop, like as one rises all the way to the top of the conveyor, it turns over onto the other side like a conveyor belt kind of system, and then goes down and loops around like that. So as it's lifting them up from below, they are getting off on the 2nd or 1st level and entering some of the caves, apparently to begin to do battle with the goblins. And you can see that the conveyor belt system, the way it's moving, is way down, like 4 levels down. The lowest that you could go on these platforms on the outside, there is a hill giant who is pushing it, and he's the thing that's like turning this whole contraption of transporting the troops up and down. But you've been led to believe that this is not your fight. Your fight is not to actually confront these hobgoblins out here. This is what is enabling you to get into the hobgoblin stronghold. That they're drawing out their numbers so that you might have a shot at disrupting either the hobgoblin leader and or finding this necromancer who's creating the Tholes. So we're just going to kind of like time skip here a little bit. We're going to make the assumption that you managed to... The hobgoblins aren't out here looking for spies, so it's going to be relatively easy for you to climb down and get to where you're going. And you find the secret door that Turco spoke of. And so I'm going to pop that map up here in just a second. And it's actually the same map where you were, those of you that played in the previous session, it's the same map. Because it's the same level where the prison was. So, just reveal some of the bottom here. And so I've got basically two different maps going on. We're going to have just kind of the you traveling map. And if we get into a combat scenario, I've got a couple of combat maps that I made up before the session. So you are all down here and you find this boulder. Maybe we'll pick it up right there. We'll make the assumption you safely made it down here. But you can see, I don't know if you see this little box here. The water conveyor. That's what I am speaking of. The thing that's bringing them up.
Okay.
You can also see over here. So there's definitely hobgoblins on the floor below you on level 4 that are riding that up, and there are also hobgoblins over here that are coming out that main entrance and scaling the walls here and climbing up. So you got a lot of activity happening around you. Nobody really seems like they have spotted you or are paying attention to you. So
that door.
All right. Well, let's move out. Sooner we get done, sooner we get to the snack bar.
So you definitely find the large boulder that seems to be concealing the passageway, and it is large. It looks like it'd be quite heavy, and possibly need some force to be able to kind of roll it aside.
Elibet, I think this is you, maybe?
Okay, I might need some help.
Yeah, it looks pretty heavy.
Murray, I'm sure you're very big and strong. You could certainly be of use there.
I don't know. This is natural. I really didn't work on it. It's like natural fit, but it doesn't mean I'm really fit.
I will sketch out a diagram of how hard you're working.
All right. How about you? You're the one pointing fingers. How about you lend a hand too?
You see, my arm is the same diameter as my finger. I'm
Every bit helps. It's okay.
I will push
How
you.
about we all do it? So we're not having this argument. That is a very large rock for even 2 people to push. But with the combined efforts of all of us together in teamwork, we shall be victorious in maneuvering this rock in such a way we can get through.
That's the other thing I remember about you, Professor. You used to have like a really young, strong guy. So why don't you just pull out that guy? Let that character come out of the back from behind the curtain, and he can do this.
Oh, you mean my boy? Yeah. If we're being honest, between you and me, I mean, he can hear us still. He wasn't necessarily strong. He was fit, like Murray was saying. However, he was more on the nimble side of things. And also, he habits this body now, and you just see this is just, oh, no.
Well, I was thinking mainly because he doesn't
Very
smell.
self-aware. You don't look too bad. You're okay. Right, Halibut? He doesn't look too bad, does he?
We can all do it.
Can Can I turn into a warhorse to help like push against it maybe? Because Pico is not strong, but a warhorse is.
Sure. But just the idea of like getting everybody to help probably will work once it's like sort of popped out. You probably at best could maybe get two or three people would be necessary to kind of like pop it out. So if you got a couple of people, maybe you could if you wanted to do the warhorse thing, that could definitely work if you got like maybe create some kind of harness and wrap it around the rock. There'd be a way you could make that work.
All right. If everyone's gonna do it, then he wouldn't need to. But if not enough people pitch in, then he would definitely like turn into something that could help move it.
I would love to give Bark inspiration to Hellbit. And I walk up to him and I start grabbing by the arm and I'm like, Hellbit, you are a very strong man. There is no reason that you couldn't do this yourself. You could just let these underlings help you just for their own confidence. But you've got this. You've got this.
Oh, maybe it's lighter than I think.
So do I roll a d6 to see how much you add?
He can use it within the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
I think you can do it basically after the roll, but before you know if it's a success or failure. So, Halibut, you're getting some assistance from Murray.
Yeah.
So what am I supposed to roll here? Just a...
You get a strength athletics check at advantage.
I'm providing emotional support with no benefit.
So Halibut definitely is doing like the heavy lifting here. He didn't even roll the advantage. So Murray, you get over there, and before you can even like coordinate to like time your lift or whatever, Halibut's already kind of like rolling at his sides.
I'm not
sadly.
even. I'm not even gonna pretend that I'm. See, he didn't even. You are pretty strong. I'm not. I wouldn't have been much help. I swear.
You guys must have been helping me.
So it's definitely like a rough hewn. It's not the worked stone of other areas that you've seen, and there's sort of a stale air, like trapped air that kind of is exposed as you roll this rock away, and you've got a way in, and probably just because of maybe some of your suspicion that you might get spotted at some point. Probably pretty quick to pack yourselves in there and get out of line of sight of the hobgoblins. But then it kind of ends at a dead end here where there's a big S on the wall.
What does that stand for?
Means hope in some language.
So yeah, there's at the end of this rough hewn passage, there's like a dead end where there is what seems to be worked stone.
Well, I guess maybe and this is dark. It's pretty dark in there.
Yeah,
Where we're at right now. Is there any light coming from, or what? It's
probably like
solid red.
There's probably dim light in here just from outside because you get the bioluminescence from the fungal stuff out in the wider cavern is gonna bring a little bit of light in here, but
Okay.
If you want, Murray, I can always just make lights.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's not do that because then if this door opens, and we gotta be, I guess, careful. I'm gonna.
I can see in the dark. If you want me to go come out there and help you out.
Yeah. Bossy pants. How about you go and do that?
What are we doing?
All
Just
right.
pushing open a door? I can do that.
I don't think you found the obvious secret door yet, but you give me a perception check. See if you can find where like the catch is.
We've seen these things in a tour guide before.
You're not able to find it. Like the worked the work stone in front of you, it looks pretty uniform, and so you don't see any like imperfection where there might be a handle or anything like that.
Could I attempt to get more touchy-feely with the wall and just try and run my hand across it and see if anything catches on it?
Sure. That sounds like an investigation check, so you could do that.
Yes, please. This wall appears to be made of stone.
Uh-oh.
And as you're feeling along the wall, you actually do feel like your fingers catch on something, and you pull on it, and it does seem to be a lever of some kind, but it didn't open up any doors, and you almost hear I don't know, like a sound like a flushing of a toilet, like water running down a drain or something.
Now that's just insulting.
Why would that be there?
Sounds like it came from like on the opposite side of this wall that you're checking out.
Are we going through the latrines? Is that what's happening here? It's a secret door behind.
Dunker, do you know what's going on? You're aware, you're familiar a bit, right?
I don't really know that. I made a song to Dunker's secret door. What a mighty bore, but I don't really know anything about this.
What kind of check would this be? Just give me a straight intelligence check. Because basically what you'd be doing is like, you didn't necessarily know about the secret passageway, but you do know about the complex, so you'd be probably like trying to piece together where in the complex would this lead to.
No.
And you have no idea. Just nailing it with these rolls tonight.
So getting it in the way.
What do you think, Pico? Anything you can discern from this wall of stone?
Oh, maybe. He's an archaeologist, so if there's like something kind of, I mean, it's a fortress, but if it's like kind of temple-y and old-like, maybe he could kind of discern something.
I like the stonework. It's very well built.
Would
So
I
you could
roll...
do. You want to do perception?
Yeah, I'm good at that. Let's see. Perception and toss. Please be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a 27, you're just like, it's right there. It's not a pull. You just gotta push the stone. You push the stone, and the wall drops down, and there's a kind of a square opening that leads you into well, you're looking then into a room. In the middle of the room, there's like this bowl-like cistern. And it's got like it's kind of propped up on like these 4 stone like legs, and it looks like there's like a little wooden like step ladder that leads up. It's big, like it's probably taller than you are, Pico, and so to even like look into it, you probably have to climb that little step stool to take a peek into it. Just glancing around, you notice that there's like a spigot off of the cistern with a little handle, and there's a number of like wooden barrels in the room, and then this just seems to be like a little well, it's not little, it's like a 20-foot by 20-foot room, but there's no door. It just seems like this leads off to the west, this direction, into more hallway.
Interesting.
Well, at least we've now infiltrated into the stronghold, probably.
Professor,
Yes.
is Booker Sebastian Prosciutto,
Prosciutto.
excuse me, Prosciutto the third around?
Junior the Third Esquire. Yes, he is indeed.
Sorry.
It's all right. You'll get used to it. But he's very touchy-feely about his title.
maybe ask him.
Sure. And he'll snap his fingers, and then a little purple owl will appear. All right, Booker Sebastian Bush, you returned to Third Esquire. Would you be so kind as to possibly scout ahead and make sure there's no problems facing us in the near future?
So you're having it head up like that way?
It is the first direction, and it is to the left. Therefore, it is the correct way to go.
All right. So it moves ahead and sees a stone door up ahead there. So as it's flying up that way, let's see. Halibut, what is your passive perception?
Is that under skills?
Looks like it's 13. You notice one of the barrels, you swear you just saw it like move a little bit. Like maybe it's on like a little bit of uneven like ground, but you swear you just saw it kind of like wobble a little bit.
I'm gonna look at the barrel. Is the barrel sealed? I mean,
it is sealed. It's like it seems to be like the type of barrel that probably contains a liquid. Like it's very tightly kind of packed. There's even a number of buckets that seem like they've been constructed from some of the large mushrooms from the fungal forest down on the ground floor. So you're getting the sense that maybe this is like they were water barrels or wine barrels, or you're not really sure, but
I'll take my warhammer and just tap on it lightly.
you just kind of hear like some scratching on the barrel and the wood.
Is there
And then
something we can weigh that barrel down with? Like, just put something.
You hear it from some of the other barrels then too, like kind of like a scratching noise.
Oh,
Something inside the barrels. Is there a way we can kind of hammer these things down? I think this must be how they're moving them.
are these normal sized barrels or are they pretty large?
They're pretty large. Like they're probably maybe 4 feet tall, pretty broad, wide. They'd be incredibly heavy if they are indeed filled with water.
I think we
But
know
that
it.
doesn't
How many
seem
of
to
them
be
are
the
there,
case.
Alex?
There's like 4.
I say we crack one open, deal with it, and then we'll know what's inside the others. Is there a way we can secure the others? Maybe put a python or something into the top and keep it from opening?
Yeah, you could if you got Python, it would be really easy to just kind of like wedge that into the top of the lid. So there's a spike there, kind of obstructing it from popping off. So
Maybe we could just, poke it full of javelins, until it stops making noise inside.
Yeah, sometimes barrels have that plug hole, where they would eventually put the tap. Is there one of those in here?
let's see, where would that be on the top of the barrel? Yeah, there would be like a cork.
Yeah, it depends on by its design whether it's at the top or on the side. But
Yeah, we'll say it's on the top.
so we could pop that off on one of them, and hell of it, you could jab it with a spear.
I don't know if I have a spear.
Did you say that the barrels are coming closer towards us, or are they just kind of moving around?
They're just kind of like in place, like making. They're not like getting up and walking or rolling towards you. They're just like kind of vibrating or shaking as
Wow.
if something's in there, like trying to get out.
Well, Yeah, maybe we just take a look inside.
I've got a long sword, but it's probably too big for the hole. If someone had a spear, that'd be the right diameter to.
We
poke
just look first. We don't have to stab. What if it's something stuck in there? What if it's a little goblin or something?
Yeah, but
There
if it's not, I
appears
think we
to
should
be
have
a
the weapon
door
ready
to the
poke.
north.
Then you could just ask it, but it's not making sounds like it's intelligent.
Well, let's see. Excuse me, anyone in the barrel?
Oh no, it doesn't sound really friendly.
It's not. Oh no.
Can I do an inside check on the barrel? We
Sure.
don't have. Okay. Like, we don't have to. I was just making fun of Ike and his inside checks, but I could do that.
No, the barrel is hard to
The
read.
barrel seems to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I agree.
It is hard oak wood. It is real. Genuine.
This is really a hissing barrel. Like, yep.
All right. Well, before we start stabbing, still, I don't think. Or maybe just take a look real quick. Maybe based before we just stab something.
Why don't you stick your finger in there and see what happens?
No, look with your eye. Like your eyeball just.
You couldn't see in the dark before. How are you going to see inside of a dark barrel?
If
It's
you're
not.
worried that
Well,
it
I
might
wasn't gonna
be-
do it.
I mean, have you tried smelling it yet?
We can't smell if you're standing so close. All I smell is mothballs.
You are literally the worst person I've ever met in my life. I do not stink.
Professor, you hear a voice in your head just say, "This Savoy guy. Maybe we should open one of these barrels and stick him inside."
That sounds like a very wonderful idea for a different time, I'd say. But right
Okay.
now we have a mission. Ariga.
So we've popped the cork already.
Okay,
Oh.
you pop the cork. There is an intense scent of rot that, like, almost it's like opening up some fish oil or what is that stuff?
Oh.
That really smelly stuff that they use like in Indian food. It's like that, like instantly, like pervades the room. Everybody in there, give me a quick con save as you
Ew,
pop it open.
stinky.
Dunkel's not in there. He's not impressed with
Professor
Oh,
seems to be
that's
one of
not
the few
really
people
good.
used to the bad smell.
Smells
Okay.
not a bit fragrant. Actually, not too bad.
So, Savoy is overpowering to you, and Pico, you as well. And you're both like, it's just, it almost feels like it is so foul that it is like causing your muscles to kind of freeze. Like you're having a physical reaction to it. And then you see this like finger kind of poke its way up, and it's just got this like elongated, like overgrown, broken fingernail, and it's just like reaching up and out, like
Stab it!
feeling
Stab
around.
it! Go ahead and stab it!
I don't think it's friendly. I don't think it's friendly. Close it.
We're both hiding in the corner.
Now, Alex, where are we right now where that symbol is? Is it, could we possibly just turn these barrels on the side and roll them out the hallway and off the edge?
Yeah, you could do that.
That's a good idea.
I thought the goal was to remain inconspicuous. You know, they're literally right over there, scaling the walls.
So
It
one
looks-
of the pieces with that though is if you do that, there's a chance that they would just drop into the water. So it would make a big splash, probably. Yeah.
I'd say personally, we should just leave them. They don't seem to be going anywhere.
I have a feeling that'll leave them for our return trip when we're weaker.
If there's nothing that may grab the barrel now, what makes you think they'll get out later? It's just, in my educated opinion, at least.
Ever
If
see-
these are the undead that they're creating, then they seem to be just storing them here until they are needed.
And if we happen to get one person gets past us and runs past, he could open these things up, and then we've got a blockade. No, never leave an enemy behind you. That's what I read in all the books. We pop the cork, stab, stab, stab. We go about our day.
Yeah, do it. Stab him.
I don't. The last time we ran into these things, that wasn't. It was kind of. They were difficult. Very, very difficult. I don't know if just a quick stabby is going to be enough.
DM, does it sound like a foal or does it sound like something different?
Oh.
Didn't the
Make
poles
a-
like talk? Like they
Yeah,
They can
yeah.
cast spells.
So, I think, Professor, that's probably what, when Pico brings that up, that's what you're kind of thinking too, is like, this sounds like something feral or something not so intelligent, or, maybe a Thul will probably figure its way out of this barrel a little bit easier than this thing seems to be.
And you said in the middle of the room there's like a gigantic, in a short, like a gigantic bathtub, kind of.
Yep, yep, it's a big bowl. Big.
Might I throw in a wrench, as we were to put it, into this possible situation we find ourselves in? These lovely individuals are the next in line to becoming our wonderful foes. They just haven't been prepped yet.
No famous yet, you're saying.
Yes, there could be missing a femur or two. I don't know the exact process in making a foal,
Spare
but
parts, in other words.
So then destroying them now weakens our enemy later.
but also that could be wasting our time to actually get at the enemy who actually can make them.
Oh.
It seems like a very rigorous process to possibly make such a creature. And without the, I think it was a shaman that Fluke said, who is responsible for making them. Once they're out of the picture, they should not even be a problem anymore.
Whatever we do, stab it or not, let's. I mean, I am starting to get like it smelled fine now, but the more I smell it, I'm feeling a little sick. Maybe we should just plug it up and keep on moving.
Yeah, I'm just walking away because it smells really bad.
They seem to not know how to get out of the barrel too. They've just been sitting there for who knows how long.
I'm gonna
Let's
grab.
just move on then. And
If
do
you have
our-
a cork, I'll go ahead and close it. Here we go. Oh.
Yeah, this thing, it's only got one finger out. You can
Oh God.
plug that down,
no.
plug it out, no problem.
You just poke it with a dagger and like, there you go.
Here we go. It was frightening. All right. Next.
So, anything else you want to do in this room? Or it sounds like maybe you're stepping out of the stinky room to try to get what little fresh air you can.
Which way are we gonna go?
Well, straight ahead is a door. To our right, I have not checked yet.
Mate, check him, Sebastian. Can you
Would
hear
we-
Sebastian? Check him.
Would we be able to see that there's two pathways from where we are in the corner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can kind of see that there's some hallways that branch off of this one.
Let's go
This
that
is- Which way is that?
toward the two entrances down the hallway.
Down that way?
What do you say?
Sounds good. Would we recognize like where we came up that we've been here before or no? Or not here in this hallway, but like in this general area before, like in the fort?
The construction looks similar. It's sort of flagstone in places. It's a little bit uneven, and that sort of fits with the construction of the area where you were at the guard room, like off of the garbage chute, and the whole prison area and the forge. It looks very similar. It's kind of got, now that you're like kind of out of that passageway, there's almost that kind of damp, almost like, basement kind of smell. So it's a similar smell. There's a couple of senses that are being triggered that tell you you're probably not far off from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm for going right.
If you want, I can send out Booker Sebastian Pursuit Jr. the Third Esquire to have a look-see ahead.
It'd be
I-
wonderful. Go and do that.
I will not turn that down. That sounds like a beautiful idea.
Go for it, buddy. It's all you. I'll send the owl down.
Okay. So, kind of looking into this room is lit. But it seems like there's some torchlight maybe coming from this chamber. And in the center of the room, there is a massive stone table upon which looks like maybe some maps and some documents. And there's a number of wooden chairs around the table. And then prominently at the head of the table, a larger chair. And there is a hobgoblin in a suit of chainmail that is sitting there, and to his left and to his right are these two large kind of, they almost look like mastiff like creatures. They have sort of a coarse fur. It's a mix of gray and drab green, so not quite mastiff, but that's sort of on first glance kind of what you think of when you see it. But a very large hound. And this hobgoblin seems to be poring over some of the maps and things like that it's looking at. Probably your view through the eyes of the familiar is a little bit obstructed because in between its vision and that table, there's like this massive gong that's like sitting on like this frame, this wooden frame, and there's a hammer on a chain that's kind of hanging off of it. And then you'd see that there's a door like to the very far part of the wall here. There's some weapon racks. It looks like this is probably some kind of like an assembly hall or something like that. There's a number of racks with shields and spears and war picks.
Well, the individual in the room has not seen us.
He has not seen the familiar. No, the familiar just did a flyby.
All right.
Behavior does not seem to be alerted to any kind of intrusion or anything like that.
Well, Professor would hop out of bird vision for a second and then relay it as quietly as he can what he saw. And worries, we may have found a important figure of note. It also appears that there may be, I'm not sure who it is, I didn't get a good enough look to see if I recognize the individual, but if we do go in that room, he does have a gong behind him that he may alert others to his location if possible intrusion were to happen.
Do you think? Did we? Because I know we're supposed to stop the Tholes, and then the Queen mentioned taking out like leadership. Do you think it's the one that our hobgoblin friend told us about, Kal Khan, or like, did he give us any way to like recognize who that is, or
would I recognize Kal Khan at all, DM?
let's call it a history check.
Because I know he name dropped for us, but I don't know if we got a description of what he looks like.
Yeah, so you haven't necessarily run into him yourself, but you have a few pieces about him that maybe you're aware of that you'd be able to ID him. One of which is the sword. Although you can't, you haven't seen this particular character's sword, but you know that Kal Khan is known to have a sword which has like a in its pommel a viper with 2 rubies in the hilt. You also know that the sword has a name. He calls it Paramel. And he is known to have a couple of pets that are mastiff like dogs like that.
So our concerns is the gong that's behind him, right?
The gong is actually I guess you'd say it's in front of him. So it'd be like in between the door and him. Let me there is a battle map for this, so I'll pull that up because that has the maybe situational detail that you're looking for.
Is it? It's not one of those table gongs, just like one of the 5-foot tall gongs.
Yeah, it's like a large gong like that, like probably 6 feet tall. Oh boy, what did I name this? 1 second.
Well, I believe this definitely is our warlord of sorts, or definitely our chieftain, most likely, based on collaborating evidence, but I cannot be 100% sure.
Oh, but he is not our number one target yet, anyway. Do you think we should pass him by if we can?
If we have an opportunity to possibly take down the head honcho of this entire operation, I wouldn't like this opportunity to go to waste.
All right.
That's just my opinion.
And we keep leaving people behind us. Eventually, there's not going to be a way out behind us.
I'm just putting your tokens on this map just so you can situate yourself if you decide that you wanted to go further here.
I can spend most of my efforts trying to make him unable to move to even get a chance to ring the gong, but it would take most of my time, and I don't know if it'll be successful to begin with. But we have the opportunity to, if we can.
I kind of have to agree with Savoy because, like, if we keep leaving people behind, we might be pinched in if we make too much. If we make make ourselves too much known.
Yeah. Eventually, we're going to make noise.
Yeah.
is the gong the thing that's in the lower part of the room there?
Yeah, right here. That's the gong.
Okay.
Did I see what was held up by? Was held up by like a rope? Was held up by chains?
It's like a wooden frame. And yeah, like chains that come down off of the top part of the frame.
So we're just worried. We're worried that he's gonna sound the alarm, is what I'm hearing, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, I mean, I've been around musicians. I guess it's like a giant cymbal, right? All you gotta do is hold it, so when he hits it, it doesn't make that much of a noise, right?
Yeah, that could work.
Seems simple enough.
Yeah.
Right? Just touch it, and it won't be as loud.
Do you have something that we can
My hand?
pinch it
I'll
without him
just
noticing?
touch it.
But
Oh, without him noticing. Well, I would hope that we would be able to
Yeah.
get there. I don't know. I didn't think that far. I just assumed we'd be
I
able to
mean-
touch it before I hit it.
I can make someone invisible.
I can. One of our old library tricks for getting around was the step like the wind, and I could just slide up, be right in front of there suddenly, and do that.
Mm.
So I think the first
There
thing he
you
might
have-
do when he sees us is throw something at that gong. It's not as though he's going to run to it and hit it. I think he could throw something from where he is, and the gong would go off. He might even have a button from where he's seated.
so we are attacking him, or just preventing him from sounding an alarm.
I
Probably,
think a bit of both.
Both.
That's what I said,
probably
yeah.
prevent and attack. Get him out
Okay.
of here.
Okay.
How we want to deal about his two pets?
You
Who's
should
one-
kill them.
Well, I got that part of it figured out already. But do we want to draw attention first towards his pets or towards him himself?
Mm,
I think the pets would be more dangerous while he's commanding them, and then when he's gone, without instruction, they should be easier to take down.
I can spend most of my efforts trying to neutralize him as best I can. If that's what we want to go with.
I do have that spike growth, but then that might cause a problem for anyone where is that gong? Oh, that's so where the 15-foot thing is, that's the gong?
Yeah.
Oh, that's far enough away then. Okay, so I could do some spike growth around them, and that'll make it difficult for them when they try to come towards us.
Oh, what was the
It'll-
name of the?
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
sorry, Alex. I didn't get the handout. What
The
was the name
map?
of it? Oh, yeah.
Warlord's Chamber.
Okay, thank you.
But
Okay,
someone likes me to get them invisible so that he'd get up close enough to not be seen.
Well, I guess it's me. I'll get up there behind it and touch it. It'll be fine.
If you want, I can definitely do it for you.
Yeah, let's do that. Is
Just
that
know if you-
okay?
Just know if you attack something or cast a spell, it's gonna go away.
I'm just gonna touch the gongs and put my hand on it so he can't ring it.
Okay. Well, sorry. 1 second. I gotta move our windows around.
I'm sorry I did that by accident.
No
And then-
problem.
Should I do the spike growth so that way when we go to attack them, they have to come to us and they hurt their feet?
You know, we do have somebody that might
Yeah.
help us out a bit.
That
Yeah.
also, yeah.
Oh.
Junker, do you have any idea of maybe how he kind of fights or anything? Maybe.
Oh yes, he fights with a sword.
All right. Well, that's good to know.
Couldn't
Since he
have asked
has
for a
one.
better answer.
No, that does help us know that he's maybe not got a ranged version. So if we did keep him away, we could pelt him with our ranged attacks, and he might be forced to run through. I think it was one of the books we used to carry in the monastery vaults was the book, the Battle of Aunt Jemima Plains, where they cast a spell which was like syrup, and it made their feet all very sticky, and the enemy slogged their way forward and were all slaughtered by missile attack. So that could possibly work here.
How big
So I heard
is this
Pico is interested in getting up there to cast a spike growth.
I don't even need to go up too far. I can cast it from 150 feet, which is nice.
Who
And
else
20 foot
is
radius.
everybody thinking they want to get up to the hallway there, or is it just a select few of you?
Yeah, I think we get up to the corner there, and before we dash in there.
Trying to try to catch him by surprise. right?
Mm-hmm.
So if everyone wants to give me a stealth check, see if you're successful in doing that piece of it.
I think we need to get the Gong person first.
Yeah, I'll go. Would it be okay if I go first? That's
Yeah.
fine. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna muffle the gong. Seems funny. All right.
Sounds like a euphemism for something else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Here we go.
Okay.
Muffling the gong.
It's like
So you're moving
covering up-
forward. Oh, is this token thing happening again?
Oh, let me go ahead. And
Yep. Hold on.
Whoa. What am I?
Let's see. How did I do that last time?
How am I doing this? What is? Okay, good.
Can you move now?
What is going on?
How do...
Okay.
There we go.
All right. So on the floor, I am crawling up sneakily.
So you get to the corner there and you peek in, and for the first time, you're laying eyes on the scene. You're pretty big, but you think maybe with a combination of this crawl move or whatnot, the gong is large enough that you might be able to get away with like keeping it in between you and him, and actually sneaking up and getting right up to it.
Yep, that's what we're gonna do. Sneaky, sneaky. I rolled a 26 for stealth. If I can, I'm gonna move here.
Right. I'm going to have the troll hound do a perception check here. And you can kind of feel that they are you hear one of them kind of like make a woof sound, and he quickly like speaks to it in Goblin. I don't know if you speak Goblin or not. But he says
I
something
don't.
to the dog and it lays back down. And nothing more happens.
All right. Then I'm gonna be sitting there going like this to the rest of the group, waiting,
Okay.
or like this.
And if there are no objections, I will sneak up a little closer, and I'm going to cast Spike Growth with the center directly on our hobgoblin not friend.
Okay.
Because we have
Give
a
me-
hobgoblin friend now, so can't be the friend.
Give me a stealth check.
Okay. Skills. Stealth. Come on, stealth. It's okay.
So as you get to the corner here, both dogs stand up and just start barking. And that triggers Kal Khan to kind of look out, and he sees Pico. He sees he's aware of you, and this is where the initiative roll will get triggered.
That didn't work so well.
Murray, Britt, Jermaine, you are up first, and you are hidden.
I'm hidden. I am gonna ready an attack if anybody gets close enough and soothes me. But I'm staying there. Maybe out of fear. Frozen in fear. Probably is what it looks like.
All right, so just readying in action. Savoie, you hear the barking. It is your turn.
So I know the gig is up. I don't have much of an attack maneuver at this range. So I'm just going to kind of get myself positioned for what might happen next, and I'm going to try and slip across to this other side over here. But I'm going to try. I mean, is it worthwhile trying to do it stealthily? But to not give away the fact there's more people in the hall, or since he's staring that way, he'd see us anyway.
I don't know. Possibly you can slip by. It'd take your action to do that, but you could do a stealth check.
Yeah, I don't have an action I'm likely to do right now anyway. Nope.
You hear the dogs kind of like their bark changes a little bit as you slip by. One of them was,
and that's when I stumble. I'm like, oh, I hadn't seen it into the room yet, so I kind of caught myself off guard.
Benjamin's freaking out now.
I think I might have gotten my actual dog maybe going at this point. So Pico, it is your turn.
Pico is, well, stealthing failed, but he's not going to give up on the whole spike growth thing. And he's going to cast it with the center being on the hobgoblin. And then as a bonus action, he's going to do Shillelagh on his shovel.
What is the size of spike growth?
20-foot radius from the center point.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So I think that would be accurate right there.
Yes. That is correct. And for every 5 feet, they take 2d4 piercing damage.
All right, so these gigantic spikes start piercing up out of the floor underneath the table. The table kind of shifts a little bit as some of them are kind of like lifted up even, and it's sort of like just situated there in the brambles. Awkwardly, it knocks over a bunch of the chairs around it, and the dogs look like they're just kind of like getting a little bit small as they're trying to like scoot inward to avoid these things that are growing up and around them. Hobgoblin himself like kind of climbs up onto his chair, like trying to figure out how he's gonna get out of this one. The troll hounds then go. It becomes their turn. Let's see if I can. Yep. Okay, I can control them. So, troll hound 1 is going to run through this. Shoot. It's like the token is like on top of the guys here. So I think reposition them. So he's gonna move. He's basically gonna roll through 3 of these squares.
Okay. Do you want me to drop them on him?
Yeah, you could go ahead and do it that way.
Okay. 1, 2, and 3.
And that is as far as he can get with his movement.
Jeez, they look horrifying.
They're really scary looking.
And then it'll dash. It'll use its action to dash. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. It gets to right there. It takes all of its movement to do so, but it gets up to you. Well, and essentially the other one's going to do the same thing.
Okay, so drop some damage on it too.
Yeah, so I'll throw it there.
Okay. 1 and 2 and 3.
All right.
Same. No, one more.
And ends up dashing and getting up to you. They're very fast.
They're very fast.
Luckily, the spike growth was there to slow them down a little bit at least. Mm-hmm. Professor, it is your turn.
I wasn't expecting them to get right there. So that was a wrench in things. But it is fine. I will defend you, little frog person.
I'm not dead yet.
I no, but I'm still going to defend you.
Oh, I thought you said avenge. I was like, I'm not. I'm not
He's
dead yet.
gonna cast Green Flame Blade and stab at Trollhound number 2.
Hey, damage. That's really good. And he is now wounded.
Boop. And then Trollhound number 1 takes 5 points of fire damage. And then that's my action, and I'll just stay right there as an old man.
Is Murray invisible, or they just run right past him?
He's like I think got his body like flat up against this gong,
I'm
and
like
is just
this
like
going.
Didn't you hold an action, Murray?
Oh, I did. I'm not. I'm not.
no thanks.
Not. I went, oh, and I was like,
So Kal Khan hops up onto the table, and he moves across the table
Oh man.
5, 10, 15, 20. Basically takes all of his movement to get right there.
Yeah,
And he grabs the mallet. And he lifts it up. Looks like he's about to hit the gong. What was the held action, Marie?
I could attack something. Yeah, I should probably do that. Maybe. I mean, yeah, there. Now I could do it. Surprise! Yeah. I'm gonna go one-handed rapier, the other hand still on the gong. Stealth, so I get advantage, right? Do I still get advantage or no?
Yeah, he's not aware that you're there, so you have advantage.
Cool.
You got this, Murray Bridge, man.
Here we go, guys. Rapier.
And you stab him.
All right, here we go. Sneak attack. Here we go.
Is that right? Is it 2d6 or is it supposed to be more?
I'm 4, so I believe.
Oh,
it's
you're
still-
4. Okay.
Yeah, unless I was supposed to level up and I didn't, but.
No, I don't know. I think I had it in my mind you were 5 for some reason.
Here we go.
All right, 19 points of damage.
Surprise!
So you jump out and kind of shock him. He kind of stumbles backward. And with that, he's actually going to try to hit you with the hammer that he's wielding in his hand. Maybe just kind of reactionary, like you surprised him. So I'm just going to use this. 27 to hit.
You're built like a rock, Murray. You're built like a rock.
I am.
And yeah, we'll say it's a 1d4 for the damage. So it hits you, and you take 7 points of damage.
Ow! All right.
Sorry, you'll have to just add that in there.
No problem.
Oh, and actually, he strikes you, and then he just like starts like wailing on you. So he's gonna take 2 more attacks like that.
Hopefully not like that.
24, and then a 28.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
All right. Mommy's seriously thinking if he's gonna stay here and hold this damn gong or just run away.
4 points of damage, and then another 7 points.
All right. I have Stone's endurance, so I'm going to kind of negate some of that damage. I'll take a look at what that does.
Sounds good. And you just got some re-rolls from Ed.
Yay!
Thank you, Ed.
You have 12 re-rolls now
Oh, nice.
to my
Ooh.
1.
So it's a D12 plus my Constitution modifier. So I'll take care of that on my own, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You want me to just do that?
Next up, Gunker.
All right. So I'm just gonna sidestep here, and I'm gonna try to fire an arrow through here with my longbow. So let me pull this map up so I can actually. There we go. Seems like a good time to use one of 12 inspiration.
Sure. You could use a re-roll on that.
Yeah, so I meant one of my rerolls that we have. Ooh. Oh, that's sad. That's real sad. Well, I guess that's my turn. That's
All right.
sad.
Sorry, I think I said that he was wearing chainmail earlier. He's wearing plate mail, and he does have a shield. He has a very ornate-looking shield in hand. Likely crafted from the same forge that you fought that salamander previously from. All right, Halibut, it is your turn.
Okay, Helbet moves up to here. Oh, nice doggies. Do I have to kill the doggies?
They're snarling, and drool is just dripping off their jowls.
All right, he drops his warhammer onto that the one he can reach there.
Okay. 15 hits. $12 points.
Does that take him down? He's still up.
He's still up.
I do a bonus searing smite on him.
Okay. You need me to make a Constitution saving throw?
Yeah. Well, I rolled it, but is that?
I think you just put the DC in the chat. If you want to have him roll it, you gotta click it and drag it like onto the hound.
It's DC
I rolled,
13.
Yep, I rolled and I got a 9, so if he fails. And that takes him down. What kind of damage does that do? Radiant?
Actually, it's fire damage.
Okay. Anything else, Halibut?
No, that would be it then.
All right. Murray, Britt, Jermaine, we're back to the top of the order.
Oh, great. Murray Brett Jermaine is going to look to the rest of the group for a second.
I'm
His
coming, buddy.
eyes wide. I didn't mean to call you a bossy pants. Help me, please. And he is going to attack with a rapier again. Here we go. Attack. And because there's no one else around, if I hit him. Oh, never mind. Well,
Kind of deflects it with his shield.
I'm gonna move over here because a swashbuckler. I'm able to move without opportunity attacks. I'm still gonna keep my hand on the gong because I'm unsure if it's gonna work or not. But I'm reaching and I'm like, oh, help! And yeah, I can't hide or anything, so that'll be it.
All right. Savoie, it is your turn.
I'm going to phase step to here where I can see him and fling one of my daggers at his direction because it's as far as I can move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I can move closer, but I don't want to be in front of I want to be presented as much of a target. So I'm going to throw the thing first and see which way he comes around that gong. Let's see.
$21 will hit.
All right.
And 6 points of damage.
And because it's my Kenzie weapon with the Kenzie shot, I'm going to do an extra D4 on him. I tried to just bring I guess I was just rolling it there. So an extra 3.
All right. So, yeah, you launch that dagger forward and he's very heavily armored, and so very tricky shot, but you manage to it kind of nicks his neck and takes a piece of flesh off of him as your dagger kind of right behind him kind of drops to the ground behind him.
Okay. Really wish I'd have taken the time to put some poison on that.
Almost got the jugular.
He thinks suddenly.
All right. Pico, it is your turn.
That it is. He is going to. He already prepped his shovel with shillelagh, so I think I'm gonna give the dog a bap on the nose. Bad dog. Let's see where. Okay, here it is. Bap.
15 will hit.
Awesome. And then I forgot to drag it onto the thing.
And 7 points of damage is
Right.
gonna teach that dog a lesson, but he's still up.
Bad dog. All right. That's all I can do.
And next up, it becomes the dog's turn, and this hound was looking in pretty rough shape by the time it got to you. There's a trail of blood behind it from where its paws were pierced by the spike growth. But as you bop it with the shovel, you're looking down at its feet, and you can see the wounds are just kind of slowly kind of mending themselves and closing up. Not unlike what you've seen the tholes do.
It's a dog thole. It's a dog thole.
I don't know if it's undead, but
it is going to this has the D. Oh, I guess I didn't flip the initiative. Okay, so he takes the 3. And still has the wound. He's going to attempt to bite you, Pico.
uh-oh.
That's a lot of teeth.
That's a lot of teeth.
Ooh, and I rolled a 1. I think I'm gonna use my 1 DM reroll here. It's totally not worth it, but I don't need to have a failure. I don't need that going into the weekend, so. Hey, and then Ed is gonna recuperate that for me. All right, so I rolled a 6. It gets a +5, so it's only an 11. So that will, I presume, miss.
Correct. Where is my?
And
Oh yeah, no.
Thank you. Thanks, Ed, for the reroll. I'll use this one probably more strategically, maybe. Then it becomes Professor's turn.
Oh, these darn troll things that keep regenerating health. It's kind of boring and annoying me.
I'm just gonna point my finger at it and cast Burning Hands. Just to have that not be a problem anymore.
You got it. Yeah, you're noticing the other one that got hit by the flame, and what you know of troll-like things. You're guessing this is gonna take care of that. Anything else, Professor?
We'll move up some feet and I'll get right behind Savoie.
Hello.
Well, I know that I'm safe near you. You're impossible to kill.
Right. Let's stick with that story for now, at least. I hope it stays true.
That's it.
Kalkan drops that hammer and he pulls out his blade and he points it over at you, Savoie. And
What?
He just has a very angry looking look in his face. Like he kind of, before he pulls out his blade, kind of checks his neck a little bit. He's just kind of cursing and he says, "You damn friends of the goblins. Why? Why do they send you to do their dirty work?" And he's just kind of starts swinging away here. He's gonna open things up first with a shield bash.
I've got my Kenzie weapon in hand, so my AC now is actually +2.
Okay, what does that bring it up to?
So I think it should be
21?
Well, it should be 21.
Okay.
Not
and
bad.
I get a 22.
Ah, come on.
And it does. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. He actually kind of knocks you back into. There's a suit of armor that's on a rack behind you, and so you kind of like brace yourself on that. But we'll see, because this could knock you prone. It's a DC 14 strength check. That's a failure, but you have 11 rerolls, so you could use a reroll here if you'd like.
Yeah, I don't want to be on my backside in front of this guy.
Sounds good. So deduct that reroll and let's see what happens.
Yes.
And you make it. So you manage to kind of like steady yourself with that suit of armor there. And then he's gonna come at you with 2 longsword attacks. But they're not at advantage since you're not prone, so this is good.
Small pleasures.
12 will miss. Second attack is also a 12.
He should have stuck with the hammer, the gong hammer.
Yeah, it seemed mighty effective against you. Maybe you look like a gong.
With that, it becomes Dunker's turn. Dunker?
So, yep, sorry. I'm mute. I muted myself in 2 spots. So I probably don't want to take another shot at this guy. So, I don't have a really good view of it anymore. So I'm gonna move up here, and I am going to remember what my stuff is called. Vicious Mockery. It's a cantrip, and I'm just going to point out that this guy is the ugliest person in the room, and he doesn't even look like he's holding his sword correctly. I don't even know if he knows how to use a sword. Not convinced.
All right. So insulting his combat stance. Go ahead. You can drop the saving throw on him from your actions tab. And he fails. So you can roll damage.
All right, here's his little baby damage here.
He retorts back, "What would you know? What would you know, Dunker?" Like he it seems like he knows your name or whatever. But you do catch he does do like a little glance at how he's holding his sword, enough so that he's gonna have disadvantage on one of these.
It's emotional damage.
Anything else, Dunker?
No.
All right, Helibet, it is your turn.
Right, Helbet's gonna move up to. Well, let's see. I'm having a hard time moving him.
I think you put yourself in the wall. Can you move better now?
There we go. All right, he's attacking with his warhammer.
$19 is gonna miss.
Mm.
I think I'm gonna do a re-roll.
All right.
Feeling lucky, but I'm not.
Or inspired, you know. From
That's right.
What
Dunker.
inspired?
You get bardic
I think you get a
inspiration on you.
D6 if you want to use the bardic inspiration from Dunker from earlier.
Yep.
Sure, why not?
That'll make it a 20, but he's gonna use a reaction and parry that, bringing his AC to 23 on that one.
Just not working nice with you.
I'm going to do a bonus action with a spiritual weapon.
And would you like to use a reroll on that? Because right now it's a
Sure,
net one.
why not? We got quite a few.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I could use a second reroll.
This was not on the same roll that you use a reroll on, but this is a different roll, so you can use it here.
Oh, okay.
And that one also just kind of rings off of his plate mail, dung, and makes a nice ping, but no damage.
All right. I'll say something deflammatory and goblin to him. You're all alone. Your armor won't save you forever.
Ouch.
Wow.
I am all alone. Murray, it is your turn.
He's all alone. And I'm gonna
Who's doing the vicious mockery now?
I know, really. I'm gonna go and could I just kick?
My kids just went to college. My wife left me.
It was a slow one, but yeah, it's starting to creep in.
Slow burn.
As I'm moving around, I'm gonna try to kind of kick back the hammer a bit further away.
Okay.
Would that be an action or no?
Well, the hammer is attached to a chain that is attached to the frame, so not impossible that you couldn't maybe yank it off, but it'd just be a strength action to try to yank it off and pull it off.
Okay, if it was actually attached, then I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
In that case, I'm gonna hide behind the gong the best I can.
Sure. Stealth check at disadvantage.
That's fine. All right, here we go at disadvantage.
And you
18.
feel that there's enough going on. You're behind it, enough so that you're just kind of out of his awareness.
All right, here we go. Attack. Surprise attack. Guess who?
My wife?
Oh no! Yeah.
Leroy, are you back from break?
Jeez, that mission
Just took a
mockery messed him
turn.
up. Messed him up.
How was
Leroy,
school?
what
Oh God!
All right. Advantage. Here we go. Rapier.
Leroy doesn't want to go into the warlord business.
All right, that will hit.
I want to be a florist, Dad.
All right, 14 points of damage to Kalkan.
All right. Goodbye. Somersault. Away. That's the end of my turn.
Savoie, it is your turn.
I push myself back off this suit of armor that's there and bring my mace out and try and crack it down on his swinging arm.
That's going to hit. Seven points.
And then a unarmed strike.
Miss.
With key point, flurry of blow, get him another one. Bam!
Ooh, there's a critical hit.
Nice.
It's going to be 9 points to Kalkan. He's not... His expression is that he is kind of... I don't know, Savoie, give me an insight check real quick. His eyes are darting around the room, and you're getting the sense he's doing some kind of calculation in his head. And it looks like he's very unsure of himself in this moment.
And I just scream out to him in the middle of that. I was like, take a knee now or die.
Right in this moment, it looks like he's still swinging his sword and in sort of a defensive manner here, but that will be the end of your turn as we move to Pico.
Pico is going to hippity hoppity over here, and he's going to use classic, but doesn't seem to always work, but that's okay. Thorn Whip. Oh, I have to expand this. Here we go. Click it, drag it, cast it.
Ooh, and a 23 will hit.
Yeah.
Way!
And guys, Thorn Whip hit. I'm so proud. Whoops. Okay, I only did it once. Okay. I did it! I
Thorn
finally
Whip,
did it!
kind of extends over Halibut's right shoulder and manages to lash out and grab at the other side of Kalkan's neck. It's just got blood kind of pouring down. It's starting to kind of drip down on his very pristine plate mail from multiple wounds there.
I'm glad I'm short.
Professor. Or,
Oh.
I'm sorry, anything else, Pico?
No, I think
Okay.
that's it. Yeah.
You know, I think I may have had Leroy one of my classes of Synodocyan history and cultural eccentricities. Much like him, you will fail. I'll use the wand of paralysis.
Aw,
I'll get you next round. Whoop, 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 whoop.
that's it.
All right. Kalkan is got his eyes locked on Helibet. He's gonna start things off here with a shield bash. Ooh, 13. I'm gonna use my reroll here. All right, here we go. Try again. No better. Oh, Ed's here. He's gonna keep me at one reroll. Thanks, Ed.
Keeping you alive.
So that particular shield bash, no good. But he's gonna try it again.
Is he still doing it at me?
No, he's attacking Helibet. Helibet said something to him in Goblin, and it seemed like that triggered something for him. And I use my reroll.
Isn't he also viciously mocked as well? It's one that first attack but I disadvantage anyways.
Oh yes. Because I missed that, I'll use the disadvantage here on his third attack. And the reroll misses, and here's the third attack, which was at disadvantage. He's going to attack here with the longsword. And that will miss. He then is moving in this direction. He moves away out of the Helibet and Savoie's range. So if you would like to take attacks of opportunity, you can. And both miss. 5.
Just for a reroll?
Oh, sure.
Seems like a good time to put him down if we can.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Tell me you do a reroll too.
Yeah.
All right. You're down to 6 rerolls.
Rolling through them.
Yes.
Got him that time.
The 24 will hit. Takes 9 points. And he ends moving through where these racks are. Costs double movement, so he ends his turn right there. And then it is Dunker. So Kalkan seems like he's trying to make an escape if he can. Trying to skirt the edge of the spike growth there.
All right, I'm just gonna kind of come up here and fill in, and so he can't just walk through us.
Spiritual weapons don't get a attack of opportunity, do they?
I don't know. It's a question, but you use your reaction anyway.
Okay.
So you wouldn't get 2 reactions, but.
All right, I'm just gonna longbow him.
Sounds good. That is a hit.
Yeah. Oh.
4 points. Now he's got an arrow sticking out of his back, but he is still on his feet. Sorry, I kind of moved past that spiritual weapon question. I've always allowed it. If you had your reaction, I would have allowed it, but anything else, Dunker? Otherwise, we are turning to Halibut.
All right. Helmet's gonna move up to here, and he's gonna do an inflict wounds attack.
Ooh, that will.
Or did I need to roll that? Well, I guess I did.
No, you did. I'm looking at something that he has. He's gonna parry it.
Ooh, spell parry.
So he like you reach out to go to touch him, and he uses his shield to like block you from actually making contact with his flesh.
He's gonna move the spiritual weapon there, and spiritual weapon will can attack and can it or
Yep. Yes. Yeah. That'll be your bonus action. So it can do that. And that will just kind of again ring off of his armor. All right. Next up, we're back to the top. Murray.
Brett Jermaine. He is going to, I think, Murray Brett Jermaine is going to kind of, it looks like he's there.
Would he be able to tell that there's a door over there? I mean, I could see it, but is it
The one that's over here.
north? Yeah, or the northern, or
Yeah.
I assume is a door, yeah.
Yep, it's a stone door, and that seems to be where he's headed.
Yeah.
Looks like he's trying to escape. Let's do our best to stop that.
And he's
I say in Goblin, that's because he's a coward.
Oh,
I didn't understand that. All right, yeah, that. What is he saying? All right.
and I am after yelling because Murray Brett Germain's really good at this. He is going to attempt to hide and kind of fake out what side of the gong he's going to shoot. Is this at disadvantage, the stealth check?
Yep.
Okay.
You're just trying to clear a 10, so.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
So you got it.
All right, here we go. Sneaky.
Attack. And because he starts there anyway. I know. I okay. Advantage. Simple.
That'll
Nice.
Sneak attack. Damage.
hit. 18 points. He is still up.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it.
Savoie.
I just remembered a thing that I always forget as a monk. I get an extra 10 feet of movement. So I'm trying to see if I can get ahead of him, but I don't know the best way to measure it. I'd have to go through the spike field.
You have to get through the spike growth.
Yeah. So I'm just going to get up to where, can I get to where that spiritual weapon is and fill that space?
Yeah, you could stand safely on that square.
Okay. Then I'm going to try and get him again with the mace.
That one will miss.
And then an open-handed strike. and a key point for the other open-handed strike. With a reroll on.
Reroll.
Reroll it.
I'm gonna can I choose which one to reroll?
Just this last one.
Yeah, okay. I don't know how much latitude you're gonna give me on that. Nope. My rerolls are junk.
All right. So he still has a chance here of maybe eluding your grasp. It comes to Pico to maybe do something.
You're muted.
Thank you. Okay. So I have a question. As a grung, he has a standing leap. Would it be like an action to do a standing leap, or is that just like how would that? Because I want to go to like the end of the table and then leap to the other side of the spike growth.
Yeah.
Oh, so the spikes aren't on the table. I hadn't really considered that.
They're underneath the table. Yeah, they're underneath the table.
Yeah, that's what he did. He jumped up on the table and kind of used it to launch himself. What is it? What can you read the ability? The standing leap.
Yeah, it's your long jump is up to 25 feet, and your high jump is up to 15 feet with or without a running start.
So it's just movement. Yeah, so it's not an action.
Okay. Gotcha. Because I would like to try to cut him off and, if possible, wild shape into something. So I would be able to go to like here on the table and then just boing on the other side.
Yeah. What did it say about your long jump? It doubled? Is that what it was?
My long jump is up to 25 feet and as high as 15 feet, with or without a running start.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely. Easy. Yep.
Okay. All right. I will do that then. Pew! And over there. And I am going to wild shape into a black bear.
All right. Let me just get a black bear token out here.
Silly, that's a velociraptor, silly.
Silly.
Oh.
This is a cool looking dino though. It's got like plant plates going on. I mean, sorry, black bear.
Let's see. What do we got? I've got bear people. I've got bugbears. I got brown bears. I got werebears.
Ooh.
Let's do the werebear.
Oh, there's dire bear.
Ooh, scary, super spooky, scary.
Super spooky, scary.
What? It's like
that's the werebear.
Is he doing plumbing? Like what? Hey guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey guys, I gotta fix your pipes.
Somebody say there's a picnic over here because I want to be a part of it.
You ain't
All right.
going nowhere.
So you kind of like
I'm just trying.
Black bear center, trying to stay your ground.
Block his way, yeah. Or if he does have to go, he has to go through the spikes, just making it difficult for him.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Professor, it is your turn.
Professor's gonna move up a little closer. He's gonna reach into his bag and put out a tiny bell and ring it and say,
The test is over. Turn in your exams. Oh, Mr. Kago Khan, it seemed you didn't put anything in your paper. Well, it'd be great to see you next semester.
He's gonna cast Toll the Dead.
All right. He fails.
Damage.
And with that, he it almost seems like his neck kind of cracks, and then he falls over and impales himself on some of these spikes. And as that happens, Origa is like almost immediately kind of berating you a little bit, Professor. He's just like, "What the hell is this about the syllabi and first week of class? What? You never taught any? What?
What do you mean? I'm a professor. That's literally my name. I gotta play it up for the strangers, the folks, if
Oh,
you
is
will.
that's why we call you that? Oh,
No, you call me that because you forget my name all the time.
that's what I thought. I didn't know it was like a real thing.
But also, remember, I'm a professor of linguistics. That was my thing, remember?
Oh, yes, okay.
Don't worry. No one really talks to me anyway, so how would pretty much people know anyways? It's
Oh,
alright
don't
though.
say that. It's fine. We should talk more.
We talk literally every second of the day now.
You're right. We should talk less.
Perhaps. How about you talk to my son? He's quite a chatter.
No, he doesn't say much.
Yeah, he's only here for like a minute at a time, and then he just leaves. It's very limited with him.
So, the combat has concluded. So you're out of initiative at this point.
Helvet's gonna pick up his shield if no one else wants.
Yeah, yeah, he does.
All right.
Anybody need a shield?
No. Bad noise.
I think it has your name written all over it, Telebits. You've earned it.
No, I haven't.
I mean,
What were you telling him?
I was just trying to make him mad so he would make mistakes.
Wow.
Called him a coward.
Really?
He was running away.
Just, I'm not. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, Halibut, shield I put in your inventory. Also laying next to him is that blade, the longsword that has that kind of viper pommel with the two rubies, just like Professor was remembering about him. And he is wearing a suit of, it's been maybe a little dinged up, but he is wearing a suit of plate mail.
Am I? I am, huh? If no one else wants that longsword, I might go and take a look at it. Well, no, I don't know if I could use it with finesse, right? It's not really gonna help me out very much. I'm still gonna take a look at it anyway.
It does, glancing upon it, definitely would be very valuable, just because of the pommel itself. But then the blade, you're inspecting the steel, and this is superior craftsmanship. Becomes clear to you like instantly. Like you can't find any imperfections in the blade, and it is. I think relatively clean. I don't know if he hit anybody with it, so.
Yeah. I'm gonna, if no one, I might hold on to it and try it out, see how it works, and if not, give it to somebody. I'm sure.
If you want, I can inspect it a little closer for you.
Yeah,
It would
sure.
take a little bit.
Now, do I know what the shield is, or do I have to do some sort of identify on it?
You figure it out either with an identify spell or spending time with it over a short rest.
If you want to have identify.
I do have identify.
You're using identify, okay.
Now, do I? That takes 100 gold, right?
No, it's just Little Pearl doesn't take anything to.
What's that?
It doesn't take money to use. It's just you have a little component for it.
Oh, I don't know if I have a component. Pearl. Do we have that in?
I mean, have you tried the 5,000 gold piece diamond? That might work.
I don't want to use that. I'm not worthy of that.
It's a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces and an owl feather. So, there is all this stuff in the party sheet. The bloodstones, not exactly the component that you need, but maybe you could use it. Let you try it with an Arcana check to see if you could like make it work. You're kind of substituting something of equal value, but maybe it would work. Okay, so be sure to take one of those bloodstones out of the party sheet, and we don't have to deal with this right now, but I'm gonna clear the party sheet after tonight, so anything that's left in there, I'm gonna probably just clear it out. It is a shield +1.
Okay.
I'll reveal that to you.
I would also take the time to cast Identify on the longsword he has.
All right.
All right,
that
Ken.
is...
I'll just equip that then.
Okay, you can do that. It's in your inventory. Murray, Professor casts Identify, and that is a longsword +2.
Oh,
This is a very powerful sword, Murray.
That's nice. Feels really nice. Yeah, hold it for now and maybe give it to somebody else. Do you need it? Do you need a sword? A long sword? Is it your jam?
I mean, I've trained in longsword about a week ago with some of the warrior maidens.
Well,
But I have Knight's Edge here, and he's just going to do a little flourish with it.
oh,
It seems to be serving me well.
all right.
Also, it's a little more lighter.
Yeah, it's a bit heavy. It's like his wrist is kind of, it's a bit heavy. I'll just carry it for now and give it to someone else if someone else needs it.
Alex, is there anything on the table that he was sitting behind? Was there like a reason he was there?
Yeah. At this point, Pico, are you dismissing your spike growth?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So, Savoy, you go up there, and there is a map that seems to be a number of maps that seem to be detailing the goblin caves in like little kind of little scribblies of like different entrance points that they and numbers associated with each one. Maybe they are numbers that are kind of ascribing different battalions, like how many troops they're sending into different entry points to attack the goblins.
Not useful since that's already happening, but
give me an investigation check as you're kind of poring over some of these documents and the maps.
all right.
There are some other scrolls there on the table that are not currently like laid out, but you start to like kind of take the little ribbon off and start unwinding them and unraveling them.
There's an orange, a blue, a green, and a brown one.
Yeah, like those objects there, and you start to look at them, and they seem to be of different areas that are not so familiar to you. One of them seems to be a map of an area that seems to have symbols on it indicating like tents, and there are some symbols on there that you think maybe you're not exactly sure what they mean, but you're getting the sense of it may be like some kind of a field or agriculture or something. It seems like maybe the tents, you're getting like a sense of maybe there's an internment camp or something somewhere, and that they're using like workers to like work these fields, because it seems like again there are some numbers associated with it, and some symbols that kind of give you kind of this feeling of like like tilling a field, or there seem to be like little markers that maybe are like irrigation. There's another map that looks more like schematics of like maybe some kind of a mine.
Okay.
Another area that you're not so familiar with.
I appreciate how you ascribe all this deep thought to Savoie when really he's just evaluating the penmanship, the overall artistry of the work. He's trying to evaluate, is this one of a kind sort of thing? Is this something that's got good souvenir value? Could frame it, put it up on his wall, and say, "I was there."
They definitely don't have that kind of aesthetic quality. They definitely feel tactical and very utilitarian, I guess.
Yeah. So he'll look at him. He's like, "Well, I'm sure someone will be interested in the information here, but they're not artistic enough for me."
Some of that detail, you might be connecting dots because there are some other documents there that seem to be letters that are written in common, which maybe strikes you as interesting that it's written in common and not Goblin or something like that. But it seems to be correspondence with someone else. There's never any like names listed. Like it's the sign off for it is just a letter Q.
Uh-oh.
And you're getting the sense that the letters, have been getting delivered directly to the warlord, but there seems to be like kind of like an underlying disrespect between the two people that these messages are going back and forth, and many of them are demands for more workers. We need more slaves.
No conspiracy theories, no radical statements about space lasers.
Nothing like that. Nothing that crazy. Just sort of like an email chain between two coworkers that hate each other and are trying to, ascribe blame that one of the other person isn't doing enough work. And so, you don't know what the warlord's responses to these messages are. But you're getting the sense from the ones that are there, they're all about, we need more, you're not doing enough.
Okay. I share this information with the rest of the people. Like that, every once in a while when I'm in the spa, I kind of miss some of the action. Does this look familiar to you guys? Any of these names or tie in with some part of the story you'd know? I'm hesitant to give it to that queen lady because I don't know if she's literate. I don't think she can count past 2.
If you want, I can have a look at it. I may be able to discern something.
Is the name of the necromancer on there? Any information about him?
There's something, unless his name is Q. There's something about a field and slave labor.
We'll say, maybe in one of the letters, there is some reference to a not named, but have your spellcaster. If you can't procure the slaves yourselves, just have your wizard on a leash whip up a few dead ones. We're not picky. But Professor, you're looking at it. These locations that you're seeing, that they don't look familiar to you.
That's odd. This is not something I'd be all too familiar with. Maybe some recent additions. I mean, they've had a year to themselves.
Is Dunker there? I don't see Chris, but Dunker could probably tell you that there are some locations that he's heard that some of the hobgoblins, people that he maybe knew, had gotten reassigned to different locations. He's not exactly sure, but he heard that there were some places even deeper than the underground cavern where the city is, that they're doing some mining. They're doing some farming of some there's like a fungal farm somewhere that they are basically collecting ingredients, but he doesn't know for what. He doesn't know what these things are that they're mining and collecting or what they're for, but he just knows that wherever these places are, it's lower than even the city. That somehow there's other caverns that go deeper.
Yeah, I say all that.
Okay, sorry. Just based on your camera angle, I couldn't see that you were there.
As much as I'd love to dive deeper into these documents, we have a more pressing matter to get to. I mean, there's still a goblin attack happening, so I feel like we should acquire these and skim over them later when we're back in relative safety.
Well, they didn't give us any insight for the rest of our thing, but he was running for that door, and I don't know what's behind that door, but it certainly isn't reinforcements because they would have come out by now. So I think we should go check that out. That might be a place where there's some sort of escape or information, something else happening.
What do you think, Pico Bear?
I turn back to normal so I can talk like a person.
I think that'd be a good idea. I don't know if there are people behind there, but I mean, like, if this is where I think it is, then there are others around. I just don't know where, so we should probably be careful as we move around here.
I'm casting Cure Wounds on Murray.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll
All
give
right.
you 6.
I feel a bit better. Thanks, Hallie. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Kogo, for the DM rerolls.
I can't believe he's awake.
So, someone wants to go up to the stone door and check that out and open that up?
Yeah, I'll head up there.
So you open the door. And you get the sense that this must be his private chamber. As you see that there is a bed, a very large metal-framed bed. It's covered with sheets and blankets, and at the foot of it, you can see there is a wooden chest that has a heavy padlock on it.
I doubt he wanted to just die in his bed. There must be something here.
Off further beyond the bed, you can see there's a table, and the boss's chair. There's a larger chair across from a much smaller chair. You get the sense why his ego and needing to have the prestige, he's got that kind of thing going on. Seems like there's some papers there scattered on that table as well. And then as you turn and look inside the room to your left, you can see that there's like it's like a metal armor stand, but it is empty. It likely held his armor whenever he took it off and was getting ready to get in his comfies and get into bed. Big fluffy pink slippers underneath the bed. No.
Where did the dog sleep? Is there
he's got the little dog bed. There's a little cushion. 2
Aww.
over in the corner.
Well,
He's
now
not
I
a
feel
monster.
bad.
See, now I feel bad.
Yeah, he took care of
He loved
his
those
scary
dogs.
pups. Yeah.
Especially after his whole family abandoned him and he was left here.
I'm just going to go over and examine the
Doesn't have to
the
worry about
desk.
that anymore.
Examining the bed?
The table, yeah.
Oh, the table. So, again, you find some documents. Many of them just seem like lists of orders or like tasks for his underlings to do. None of it really standing out, but it seems like there's a letter that maybe he had started, and it is addressed to Q. So whoever this Q is, he had started a letter but never finished it or sent it off. And it seems to be that the letter is starting off saying, I've already moved many of my forces to help you take care of the things that need to be done by you, but I have issues with the goblins. They're gearing up to challenge our authority. I need every last hobgoblin that I have. I don't have anyone to spare. And it kind of trails off with like, you imbecile. That's enough. I don't have enough to send your way.
Is there any sort of souvenirs like his pin nubs or anything I can find? It's like a personal trinket I can add to my souvenir collection.
There's a paperweight that is just like a
Carved image of his life.
Iron ingot with big dog face kind of printed on the top of it.
Oh, I just pocket that. I'm scared to feel there's never going to be a gift shop, so I've just got to make my own.
I think
Are
Murray
these
would-
doors going out the side here of this big room?
You don't see any doors in this room, no.
Oh, it looked like there was some double doors over on that side.
Murray would try to open up the chest.
Okay, so right away you see the padlock, and that'll be something
Alright.
that you might need to use your thieves' tools for.
Okay. Before I do that, can I try to see if, damn it, and I'll go to his body, see if he has pockets, which happen to have keys.
Make an investigation check.
All right. $15.
So as you start to check out the body, like he doesn't have pockets per se, but you came over here. You're like, there's got to be a key to this chest. Eventually, it dawns on you to kind of like inspect maybe his boots, and
Okay.
there you do find on one side he's got a dagger hidden there, and then the other
Oh.
he has the key. You find the key.
All right. Well, hey, it's a dagger. I'm gonna pocket that dagger too.
Okay, I will put that on your sheet.
All right. And I will use as I get closer to the chest, I will go ahead and try to open it with the key.
All right. Insert the key and unlock the padlock, and slide that off. And then you can lift up the top of the chest, and inside you see there's like some kind of a strange leather bag. It's almost like a silvery kind of leather. And so there's must be something inside there. Looks like there's another bag that's sort of a red leather, tied together at the top with a kind of a golden thread. You see that there is a some kind of a crown-like object. Sort of looks like that.
Ooh.
Oh.
And you also see that there is a scroll tube in there. It's fairly ornate. It seems like the whole thing, sort of like a porcelain material that's been decorated with little aquamarines. So that look itself looks valuable, and whatever's inside, maybe as well.
Okay. If anything looks useful, he's definitely gonna want to give it. Well, he say, "Oh, this is a nice type of thing. This jewelry with the sun, Professor. There's some things in here. Maybe you want to take a look."
It looks pretty.
Sure. What do you need? All
Oh,
right.
there's this thing.
And he's gonna over his head. He's gonna just pass it back to you.
Boop.
All right, and he's gonna open up one of the pouches, look inside.
Okay.
Eventually, he's
first
gonna
one?
look through. He'll look through all of them. Yeah.
Look through it
but-
all.
Yeah.
So the first one that you had holds 150 platinum pieces.
Okay, here's some. Here you go. I think this is platinum. You can take a look at that.
Uh,
All right.
And then the second bag has 4 fire opals.
Okay, there's some gems of some kind. Here you go. Is
my,
there?
my hands are getting full, Murray. Murray.
So this is all stuff I'll throw on the dagger I put on your sheet, Murray.
Thank you.
From his body.
Okay.
But the circlet of blasting I'll put in the party sheet. And all the gems and gold or platinum pieces and whatnot. We can split that stuff up.
Was he really just going in here?
If he can, while he's kind of there, he's gonna. Well, I guess just generally, he's gonna look to see if there's some type of hidden area around her, or he was just like last stand, trying to lock himself in here.
Give me a. You're just kind of visually looking around the room, or are you like pulling on things and trying to touching the wall?
We'll say visually looking around.
Okay.
And I'm aiding him if I can in any way.
Sure. You kind of team up to kind of look around. Go ahead, Murray. Perception check at advantage.
Okay. Advantage perception check. Here you go. 19.
You spot that it kind of not really like footprints, but you catch like a little trail of like dirt that seems to be coming into the room like this, but crisscrossing over to this side of the room.
Save what? Do you see the dirt right there? Looks like there is something here.
So I knew he wasn't just running to die here. He was trying to get away from us. Do I also see it, Alex, once he's pointed it out to me?
Yep.
Would I need to roll to see if I can find any better indication of what's there?
At this point, it'd be probably an investigation to try to figure out. Yeah, you got the clue. Now you need to find like what it is that. You got 5 rerolls.
Why not? It's there. I've been blowing all my rerolls. I'm bound to not decrease once.
If you like, I could also take a look.
Yeah. I step out of the way. I'm like, I can see the footprints, but I don't know. Someone ran into the wall? This doesn't make any sense.
Professor is just going to try to intimidate. Well, not intimidate. That's the word I'm looking for.
Show yourself, wall.
Show yourself, wall, in your hidden passages you seek. He's going to imitate Pico and just push a random tile on the wall and see if that works.
Okay. Investigation check.
At the frog level. So he has to squat a little bit and then boop.
So,
this is like one of those fancy parks I hear about where the stage crew always knows where the secret passages are to get from one scene to the next.
What are you talking about?
The confines of your mind appear to be an enigma, Savoir.
I've read about these things. All those fancy parks, there's always the cast and crew who know how to slip around and get behind the scenes. You found it.
So, Professor, you're poking around at random like stone blocks and things like that. It doesn't seem to be having the impact you were thinking. But while you're poking around at the wall, you suddenly like your eyes draw over to that armor stand, and you're just sort of like thinking to yourself, it's empty, but it's also just kind of looking almost like a lever to you in this. It's just, an upright pole basically, and it's got a few little things that jut off of it to like hold the armor, the shoulder pads or whatnot, the breastplate.
He's just gonna start stroking his beard and then say, "Pull the lever!" And he's just gonna announce them and point at the statue or the stand, and just hopefully someone listens to him.
What? Now you're talking weird. What? What are you?
Pull the lever, Murray. It's right there. I can see it.
Wait.
With these old eyes, can't it's right where I'm pointing. It's right there.
The armor's right there. Yeah, I see that. Is it?
Pull it. To
All right.
the
He's gonna go and look
left.
around. He's gonna look around the armor.
What?
Oh,
The lever.
there's no armor on it currently. It's just a stand for armor, but it's
okay.
empty right now.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Well, the armor stand looks. Yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Maybe it's underneath it.
And he's gonna pull the armor stand back to see
You
if
pull-
he could.
You pull, and it kind of like a very slight click happens, and this door, this wall up here by Savoie swings open.
Professor, the armor stand was the lever.
Oh,
And when you peek in there, it is just like dollar signs are rigging in all of your eyes as you see there are like 3 huge treasure chests in there. There's a crate. Well, actually, there's 2 crates, very large crates, and a silver casket. There are also 3 kegs in there.
Like the ones we saw holding the bodies outside?
Smaller. Like 25-gallon casks.
So gnomes turned into mindless drones.
what are you even saying?
Maybe it's just expensive liquor.
They're actually propped up on some barrel, like, I don't know what you call it. Little wooden, inserts underneath the barrels. They're sideways, and they're being held up by they're kind of form-fitting to the barrel, lifting it up off of the ground. Looks like, this could be like, have a hole popped in the side and a spigot for drinking or consumption.
Well, let's look through everything, and I guess he was just going to die here. Apparently.
Want to die with all of his toys.
I guess we
You
go through everything.
Thought he could take it with him.
As you're going through this, you get the sense that there's probably another secret door in the chamber.
You know what? There must be another one.
Where?
Can I take a look around to see if I can spot a
Yeah,
possible...
at this point, you're going to be able to figure it out. And actually, it's interesting that it would be Pico that would take a look here, because you're going to recognize the room. Let's go back to the other map. You'll recognize the room that it leads into, because you've been there before.
Is this the one that I snuck into as a rat?
Yep.
Or not into, but like peeked into?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's currently empty because the hobgoblins are currently fighting the goblins. So there are no guards or anything in there, and so you're kind of safe to take your time a little bit and revel in the treasure that you are about to inherit. So I'll just give you kind of a rundown on everything that you found, and we can kind of deal with it then after the fact. But all 3 of the wooden chests are unlocked. There was no need to necessarily lock it as it was hidden here, but each one holds 1,000 gold pieces.
Whoa.
So total of 3,000 there.
Wow.
One of the crates holds 10 short swords that are of a strange metal, dark, almost purplish metal. I don't think any of you would have ever seen this. They seem to be of a fine quality.
Curious.
There's a crate that holds 5 adamantine bars. Each of these bars weighs 25 pounds each. They're very, very heavy. It'd be sort of cumbersome to be lugging those around. The casks seem to be of some kind of a stout ale. You'd be able to identify it as some kind of alcohol immediately, but probably halibut. Halibut, if you check this out or whatever, you'd think that this is on par with the quality of dwarven ales that you're aware of, and yet there's something distinctly different about this that you're not familiar with. But very fine quality. And then the silver casket holds a spell book, and the spell book contains the following spells: Animate Objects, Arcane Eye, Blink, Fear, Fly, Haste, Polymorph, Stone Shape, and Water Breathing.
Jeez.
That's a hell of a spell scroll. That's a hell of a spell book.
It really is.
Huh. Well, I'm not one to be the bearer of bad news, but remember, we're still on a mission. I don't think we have time to really. We can definitely come back here. We're definitely coming back here.
I'm just going to grab one of the short swords and learn more about it by usage.
Yeah, I'd like to take one of those myself.
Sure.
Maybe you should take the spellbook, Professor.
Yeah,
as he already has it in his hand, like going into the bag.
Oh,
That
right there.
will come in handy, I think. You will.
It's going to be a lot of inscribing.
So I didn't have a chance to code and add everything that was in the book into Fantasy Grounds, so I'm just gonna kind of do a rundown. I'll do the work later. Halibut, you're taking a short sword.
Yeah.
And Savoy, anybody else?
I'll take one.
Professor
Definitely.
will also take one.
Marie, Professor. Anyone else?
Nope.
Okay. So Halibut, Savoy, Murray, and Professor, you're all taking the short swords. Professor's taking the spell book. On page 185.
Once I heard Blink, I never became more happier.
Anything else you want to take or pocket from this room? Probably the other things are a little bit cumbersome to try to grab just now, but...
Yeah, I think we're going to wait until we finish the other half.
We'll come back. I promise we'll come back.
Sure.
Oh, I promise I won't leave you behind.
So this is a big hall, so that's awesome that you found that. Looking for that wasn't a given, so... just looking at the time, probably we don't have the time to do the other half, but you did a big piece of it, and that was to take out the warlord. And fortunately, nobody dropped by to add any of those captains, because it would have gotten real crazy real quick if that had happened. Yeah, we'll push pause on it right now. We're going to say no long rest in between this and the next session, I think, just to keep it that the scenario is kind of still in play. So if any of you happen to play in the next one, we can definitely have like a short rest happen in between this session and the next, but we'll hold off on the long rest until there's like a point in the story where it makes sense to do so. But yeah, so the battle between the hobgoblins and goblins rages. You've taken out the leadership. Now the only thing is to try to find that necromancer and make sure that they're not able to bring back the hobgoblins after they die in combat. Anything else from any of the players? Anything that you wanted to do before we call it a night, or anything you want to check out?
I mean, there was that other path down the hallway that we didn't check out. Before the big chamber there was another pathway going on that way. We didn't fully go
this way down here.
I don't have the proper map open, but I'm gonna yes, that one.
Okay. Yeah. We could handle that if you wanted before we call it.
There you go. Good night, guys.
So, if you head down that way, you're gonna find the hallway ends with 3 doors.
Are they open? Are they
Nope,
locked?
they're all shut. They're stone doors, just like the others.
Does listening at the door reveal anything?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
You go to listen at each of them.
And it must be somewhat soundproof, considering they didn't come to aid the battle.
Yeah, you don't hear anything as you put your ear up to each of them. Silent.
Well, I guess no harm could come in opening it. Are they trapped?
They are not. So, begin opening up doors. Is that your intention? Is to kind of investigate these last 3 rooms? And there is nobody here. These are the captain's quarters, and so each of them is a very fine room. But each one is, for the most part, similar enough to the next that not too many distinctions. Each is 20 feet by 20 feet. Neat, clean, has that kind of military feel of having kept everything orderly and clean and in its place. Each one has a simple bed with a footlocker at the end of it. And each of them seems to have hanging over the bed like little pegs that kind of jut out from the wall that likely hold sword or like a great sword or some kind of weapon and something like that. But they're currently empty. And the footlocker in each room is going to be the thing that you're probably going to end up checking out and looking through. One of them merely has some coinage, 25 gold pieces and 5 platinum pieces. The middle chamber there, and I'll just open these up. Middle chamber has 84 electrum, and you find a silver mask of a fox and an empty crystal vial.
Oh.
It's sort of shaped like a bird. Sort of a strange thing to find down here, because it looks like some kind of like a songbird or something. Professor, you might not recognize this creature even, because such things don't really dwell down here. So must have been pilfered at some point from up top.
I might take a closer look at those things at some point. Not now, for just in case, but like at some point.
Yeah, if you take a look at it, you're gonna realize pretty quickly that it's like a perfume bottle because it's got kind of a lingering odor of some kind of a sort of floral scent.
Okay.
And then the last chamber has the footlocker in there has 47 gold pieces and a stoppered vial with some kind of blue translucent liquid.
Gonna be a long time identifying.
We don't have anything similar to it that we've seen anywhere.
You're not sure. It doesn't immediately strike you as something that it doesn't look like a potion of healing for sure.
Yeah.
Could I try to ascertain its nature sort of with some sort of arcana check?
Yeah, let's do that, Arcana.
Oh, that 19 just shifted.
You give it kind of like a little bit of a taste, like just a drop. It's got kind of like a metallic sort of taste, almost like you stuck your tongue on a battery kind of feel. But for just like a brief moment, you suddenly feel like you could accomplish anything. Like whatever you were about to do next could not possibly fail.
That's rather odd.
So
Definitely requires more research.
The mechanics of it is this is a potion of luck. So if you drink it for the next hour, you can re-roll an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. It can be used. The ability can be used 3 times.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That seems useful.
Anyone clear taker on that item? They can get that updated on character sheets in between.
Perhaps after, maybe we can have a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way for Ike and maybe Chris, I can't tell if he's there or not, for them to get back.
I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here.
Chris,
I
you're
like
there?
it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
but
You have your fancy headphones.
now I'm still in the room. What are you talking about? What are headphones?
Rolled really high on your stealth check.
All right. Well, I guess we will call it here. Thanks to anyone that's hanging out. Shady Bonsai. It's not quite midnight. I don't know.
We didn't get a break, so it all balances.
Yeah. Thanks, players, for hanging out here tonight. We're playing The Lost City, one of the original Adventures Reincarnated books from Goodman Games. When's our next game? I think our next game is next Saturday at 9 a.m. For Lost City. So we're going to start... I had been trying to do just the Friday games, but I think we'll go back to kind of switching it up just to make it available to as many people as possible. So next week we'll do one Saturday morning. We could always use more players. So these games are thank you to the Patreon supporters and our Twitch subscribers. So check those things out if you'd like to get in a game. Patreon folks always get the first chance to sign up for the games. And then when we exhaust that, I'll put it out to our Twitch subscribers to come and have some fun with us too. So I know we are looking for players for next Saturday. So if you'd like to play and you're okay with getting up a little bit, really not that early on a Saturday and playing some D&D, you can come do that. we got some games happening this weekend, so if you want to come and see us again, you can certainly do so tomorrow morning. We are playing Eberron with Corey, going through the Oracle of War campaign, which has been a blast. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., we've got Kingmaker with Dave, and then we switch it up on Sunday night at 6:30. Call of Cthulhu with Paul will be happening, so come and check those things out. Let's see who we've got to go drop a raid over to. Let's give a raid over to Proficiency Bonus. Say hi to them. All right, thanks everybody. We will see you all soon.